2 in their 7-game road trip. They're going after an 8th straight win. Eric Gordon remains questionable with wrist soreness. ASU fell apart in the second half on the way to a loss at Oregon. Oregon State's Jordan Pope with a buzzer-beating 3 to knock off Arizona. And GCU nipped Stephen F. Austin to improve to 18-2 on the season. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910. Available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Now your chance to win $1,000. Just enter the nationwide keyword Shaq at foxsports910.com. That's Shaq at foxsports910.com.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
Happy Friday. A nice day on tap. We'll see temperatures in those upper 60s with plenty of sunshine. For tonight, those clear skies will continue with temperatures dipping down into those mid to upper 40s. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's. When you think Wendy's Biggie Bag, think your go-to meal deal. Because with your choice of JBC or crispy chicken sandwich, plus 4-piece nugs, junior fries, and a small soft drink, Biggie hits every time. So grab a Wendy's Biggie Bag today. U.S. price and participation may vary. Third-party delivery pricing may be higher.
Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In Iraq and need a check? Make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900 and always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. On Fox Sports 910.
Well, Suns forward Kevin Durant has been named a starter for this year's NBA All-Star game. The Suns are in Indiana to play the Pacers tonight. The Diamondbacks have added a veteran outfielder to their lineup, and both ASU and U of A, yes, U of A, taking on the chin in the state of Oregon. Welcome in, Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B. No Rock, no Jimmy, Jackson Groff, Chris Schubert, as we're out here at Wright Toyota. Gentlemen, you guys are up. We get to call the bullpen. Jax, there you are, big fella. How we doing today?
Good. I was just practicing on the practice squad like a normal week. And, you got the call earlier this week to me that I'd be filling in on a Friday, 3-hour show. It's Friday. It's a great day here in Arizona. A lot to talk about. We're going to talk about the NFC, the AFC championships, a whole lot of coaching moves. But I'm excited to do the show with you and Schubert, the young guys, getting the call up today.
Always good as we're out here at Wright Toyota. As I said, the showroom basically empty for now as the certified pre-owned vehicles have been coming and going. Lot is full. You got the remnants of the 2023s. 2024s are continuing to come in slowly but surely. But just off to my left, just to the north, is the Waste Management Phoenix Open. Jax, is 16, 17, 18 all set to go. We good to go?
All good to go. Trucks going in back and forth. I actually had a traffic control shift on Wednesday because there's so many cars going back and forth, people going 25, 30 miles an hour in tight, confined spaces. But the folks over there at Waste Management got it going. But I'm curious for you, Manuch. Are you going to be attending this event? I know you're a big drinker, big partier yourself. I know you love talking to people. Yeah. Whole lot of people there for the Waste Management.
Yeah, that's me right there. I can't go right there to make sure that I am imbibing in all kinds of things. You know what? We used to do our show out there. Love doing our show out there. But this thing called The Book that's been built out there kind of took that spot where the tent is, where all the Radio Row people were, all the paraphernalia was. So they took it all up. So I would love to go, but sometimes when there's 500,000 people out there on one day, I tend to stay away.
Yeah, you can watch it on your television. Pretty good view from there, too.
Sure, you did okay back there, bud? All good in your hood?
Doing well, gentlemen. It is a football Friday here on the show. 2 big conference championship games to preview. We've got a good show in store today, so very excited.
By the way, we've got the head coach of University of Arizona coming on at 3:00 for all you Wildcat fans and, Big 12 fans. Can I say that officially? Not football season's over. Big 12 fans. So Brett Brennan, the head coach of U of A, he will be joining us at 3:00. All right, Shu, let's get it going.
Time for the top local and national stories of the hour. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Bet big on your favorite teams and players in an environment that's as exciting as the game you're watching. There's no better place in the Valley to get in on the action. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar. Now, guys, what's your top story this hour?
Finally, a starter from the Phoenix Suns since 2010, when the last two starters were Amari Stoudemire and Steve Nash back in 2010. Kevin Durant has been named a starter for this year's NBA All-Star Game. Durant was selected as a starter for the Western Conference, or back to the Western Conference, while Booker wasn't. I think Book will he should be an alternate, which is voted on, I believe, by the coaches. The other starters in the West are LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, SGA will also be there, and the reserve selections for each conference, as I mentioned, will be picked by the NBA head coaches. So I like that, but 14 years in a row, KD representing the Phoenix Suns, finally a Suns jersey in the starting lineup.
Yeah, and you got to love to see it. I mean, he's averaging 29 points right now. He's played in 37 games. And before the season, when you talked about injuries, you worried about Beal, and you worried about Kevin Durant more than Devin Booker, and he looks phenomenal this season. His ability to still create shots and move the way he is, being almost 7 feet tall, is tremendous. But you look at the starters right now, Giannis, I mean, again, I have no issues with Eastern or Western Conference. You guys can both disagree with me on this, but I think Jalen Brunson got snubbed. I love Damian Lillard. I love what he's doing there with the Bucks. But you talk about a guy who's putting the Knicks on a map. They haven't had a starter, Eastern Conference starter, as for the Knicks since, I believe, Patrick Ewing was the last time, and he's put the Knicks on the map. Him signing from the Mavericks has got to be one of the best signings in NBA history. Charles Barkley said that last night, but that's my only disagreement I have with these 10 selections.
Did the three-point shooters get picked yet?
No, that'll be picked probably next week.
Grayson Allen needs to be there. I mean, Grayson Allen, I would think, would be there, but that's some signs to come. The Suns and Pacers will go at it tonight. It's the second stop of their 7-game road trip, that being the Suns, with the rout on the Mavericks this past Wednesday night. They've won 7 straight, and they're 26-18 on the season. I think they've won 12 out of the last 15. The only individual that's questionable right now is Eric Gordon. Bobo is still out, but Eric Gordon is he'll probably be a game-time decision. All right, I know Shu's got to like this. Well, maybe. Jock Peterson looks to be now part of the, I would say, the DH for this this Arizona Diamondbacks team. Reached a 1-year, $9.5 million contract. The deal includes a mutual option for 2025. The 32-year-old spent the past 2 seasons with the Giants, hitting .235 with 15 dingers and 51 RBIs last year. Shu, your thoughts on Jock being signed?
Yeah, we knew going into this offseason that one of the priorities that Mike Hazen was going to have, other than bolstering the rotation by adding at least a 4th starter, and he did that with Eduardo Rodriguez, was to add more pop to this lineup, to get more juice out of this lineup. Part of that was trading for Eugenio Suarez, who I think is going to be an upgrade over Evan Longoria. But the last missing piece was who they were going to put into the DH slot in their lineup. Now, I will tell you this. There are multiple ways that you can go about getting a DH. You can get a guy who is strictly your DH. This guy never sees the field. His defense is atrocious. All he does is hit the baseball. Or you could go down the path of a Justin Turner, a guy who could be your everyday DH, but you could rotate in at third base or at first base. Or you could go the approach of getting somebody that is just going to fill a spot, but you basically use the DH to give other starters regular rest. We see teams employ that strategy as well. The Diamondbacks kind of met their way in the middle. Jock Peterson's mainly going to be the DH for this team, only played in 38 games defensively last year as an outfielder, starting 23 of them. Look, he's going to give you a 240 average. He's going to hit around 20 home runs. He's going to be somebody that you can count on in the middle of that lineup. He can draw walks. But listen, you're not getting an MVP candidate. You're not getting a guy that's going to hit 280, 290, 300 and hit 35 homers. That's not what you're getting. But you are increasing on the margins at a position that the Diamondbacks sorely needed more power from, that being their DH position.
Well, and I like how you broke it down. So you feel good or indifferent about this?
No, I love it. $9.5 million for a DH, a guy that last year, 95th percentile in hard hit rate, 91st in walk percentage, 92nd percentile in average exit velocity. When you're looking at a DH, I want a guy who hits the ball hard, who hits the ball fast, and who can draw a walk. And Jock Peterson, one of the best in baseball in 2023 at those things. And also 21% of the time last year during his plate appearances, he drew a walk. So he can get on base via the walk. Doesn't strike out a ton. Not going to be the best at the plate with his eye, but doesn't strike out a ton, hits decent power, going to be able to hit some doubles. I think he's going to add some extra to this lineup. Probably your 4-hitter, your 3 or 4-hitter when this lineup gets put together by Torey Lovello come spring training. We'll see. But yeah, this is a nice move for the Diamondbacks.
Well, speaking of a nice move, how about the Oregon State how about the Oregon State Beavers? What a move they had in the second half against the U of A Wildcats. And to see this game as 9th-ranked Arizona upset by the Beavers on the road in Corvallis, 83-80. Wildcats fall to 14-5 on the season, 5-3 in Pac-12. U of A visits Oregon tomorrow. Meanwhile, the GCU Antelopes edged Stephen F. Austin 53-51 on the road to improve to 18-2 on the season. GCU visits University of Texas Arlington tomorrow. And how about the Devils? I assume about the Devils, but you look at that situation against Oregon, up by 5. And then they were outscored 52-28 after halftime. Perez has 20 points, lead ASU, which fell to 11-8 on the season, 5-3 in Pac-12 play. The Devils visit Oregon State tomorrow. You thought, oh man, are they going to beat Oregon? Can they do it?
2.
Completely just fell apart in that second half.
Yeah, and that's one of those games you need when it comes to seeding for the Pac-12 championship and then Pac-12 tournament, And then when you look at March Madness and stuff, they're kind of one of those bubble teams. Arizona State, Oregon, and Colorado are kind of those bubble teams. Are they going to make the tournament? And you can't allow anybody to score 52 points in the second half and to turn the ball over as much as ASU did. We'll break this game down later on, but they've lost 3 of their last 4 games, Manuch, 2 of those losing by more than 15. And you got to go on the road tomorrow against an Oregon State team that's feeling pretty damn good after upsetting 9 Arizona.
Well, the Yotes were crushed for the second straight night in Florida, falling 6-3 against the Lightning there in Tampa. Clayton Keller, Sean Dursey, and Lawson Krause scored for the Yotes, who have dropped 4 of 6. Yotes close out their 3-game road trip in Raleigh against Carolina. Hey, our top headlines are brought to you this hour by a Big Game Viewing Party. Make plans to join us for the Big Game Viewing Party Sunday, February 11th in the showroom at Casino Arizona with games and cash giveaways to level up the fun. Win your share of the cash just for watching the game. As if the football friends isn't enough, we're sweetening the deal with exciting giveaways. Each attendee will be issued free squares to win money for every quarter based on the score of the game. Plus, we have a kickoff jackpot, propositions, and jersey giveaways. Now, the jackpot, folks, is over $3,000. Our 25th year of partnering with Casino Arizona. Free admission with your Salt River Rewards card. Doors open at 3. So I highly recommend, did I say highly, Jackson? Highly recommend you get there early. I maybe start lining up, maybe like 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning.
That early?
Yeah, well, to enjoy all the festivities there at Casino Arizona. You're right. See where I was going right there?
I got you.
And one of the things you can also do is you can bet the game and watch the game. The Sportsbook in Casino Arizona. They have 3 live betting windows and 6 self-service betting kiosks, plus 8 screens displaying all the betting lines. Check it out for yourself. Open daily from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Well, coming up next, we'll have the sounds of the night. That's all Toyota right here on Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
Monday on the Drive, after months of terrible quarterback play and bummer primetime games, we finally have a Super Bowl preview. Who will battle it out in Super Bowl 58? We will break it down at 6:05 on the Drive, Fox Sports 910, and your free iHeartRadio app.
Hey, this is Kelly Cooper. Are you ready for the ultimate sports experience? Look no further than BKD's Backyard Joint. At BKD's, we're not just a sports bar. We're the destination for the best food, drinks, and sports experience in the Valley. Located at the corner of Pecos, McQueen, and Chandler, get ready to score big on fun and flavor. Only at BKD's Backyard Joint, where every day is game day. Check us out online at bkdsbackyard.com. That's bkdsbackyard.com.
The annual Big Game Viewing Party is set again in the showroom in Casino, Arizona, Sunday, February 11th. Plenty of cash and prizes to be had. Doors open at 3, and it's once again first come, first serve for this free event. This year marks the 25th year. Head to rocandmanuch.com for more details.
Are you looking for a change in your career path or just looking to get back into the employment market again? Look no further. All City Towing is searching for motivated teammates to join their team. Current openings are in the areas of customer service, tow truck operators, yard management, facilities maintenance, and dispatch. If you're looking for a challenging yet rewarding opportunity, a great benefits program including 401k program with a generous company match, and a company that is a leader in the industry, apply online at allcitytowing.com/careers or call All City's HR department at 480-833-7278. All City Towing is Arizona's largest towing transport vehicle storage provider. locally owned and invested within the communities they service. If you enjoy helping others by providing great customer service, working as a team, and possess great communication skills, All City is for you. Apply online at allcitytowing.com/careers or call 480-833-7278. That's allcitytowing.com.
Any car dealer in Arizona can compete on price. That's what dealers do. But not many dealers can compete on customer satisfaction. Like Wright Toyota. Make the right choice. Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. Just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard. And online at wrighttoyota.com.
Hey, sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado features a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. It's why they won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant in all 7 Barrio Queen locations. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of Game Day.
On game day, you want to focus on 3 things: football, friends, and food. And what makes all those better? Kingsford Original Charcoal. Kingsford Original gives grilled food an authentic wood-fired barbecue flavor you can't get anywhere else. Well-fed friends are happy friends. So good. And football, well, it's just more fun with a burger in hand. Elevate your backyard game day grilling with Kingsford Original Charcoal, America's grilling expert. Kingsford.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate.
And whenever you guys want to bring me in, just like throw to me or something.
At ZipRecruiter.com.
I'm here with my headset on. So
at ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Now back to the Roc and Manuch Show, live from Wright Toyota. Right on the corner, right on the selection, and always right on the price. Wright Toyota, 77th Street and Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale, and online at wrighttoyota.com. More sports, more Jody. The Drive with Jody Ayler. Now in morning, 6 to 10 on Fox Sports 910.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B out here at Wright Toyota. We got Jax filling in for, God, look at Rock and Jimmy. And they got Shu back there at the fine Palatial Studios, spinning the tunes for us, keeping us on track. And our Sounds of the Night, we do this each and every day about this time. And we were talking a little bit about the Oregon State victory over the U of A. Jordan Pope, how about this, folks? I'm in Corvallis. Hits a game-winning 3-point shot with no time, absolutely no time on the clock. So we're just going to dive right into it. Here's how it sounded. Thank you to the Pac-12 Network.
Tie game. Perfect. Oregon State has a timeout if they want it.
No, Wayne's saying go for it. Too slow. They wasted
5 seconds. Jordan Pope for the win. Oh! Oh! And Jordan Pope calls game.
One of the greatest games I've ever seen here. Jordan Pope in trouble, has to jump back. And this is an evolutionary development in the sport of basketball. That middle step back play. And KJ Lewis, he played it as well as you possibly could. And that is just a remarkable execution of a brilliantly created play.
Gotta love it. A step back 3 by Jordan Pope as this Oregon State comes back and beats the Wildcats, the 9th-ranked Wildcats. What a game going back and forth, back and forth. And you and I, Jax, were talking about this before the show. It was good defense. But Jordan Pope was bringing it up. There was no doubt who was going to get that last shot.
I mean, if you're Arizona, how can you let him be in an ISO situation? I mean, 5 of 8 from 3, 9 of 15. He played 36 minutes, 31 points. And I think the thing with Arizona right now, they're in a bit of a rut. And the thing that kind of concerns me, and this is what happened to them last year in the tournament against Princeton, is their lack of defense on the perimeter. I mean, 12 of 20 for Oregon State, 3-pointers last night. You can't allow a team to be hot from 3, especially on the road. We saw that against Princeton last year, and I think part of that, Manuch, is them overhelping a little too much on defense led to a lot of wide-open shots for the Beavers.
Yeah, and I'm surprised they put a little more pressure on the ball. I mean, Kate brought it up, and you heard Bill Walton there, and Roxy Bernstein doing the play-by-play, and Bill Walton do the color. We had Roxy on talking about this game in particular in Corvallis. That he said, he said, look, don't look down on the Beavers. He said they're game. They've been in games, and sure enough, it comes down to the final shot. So that you talk about U of A having some issues and some concerns with this team. I mean, U of A typically, if they lost 5 games this sort of the year, I would say something's wrong. Something's definitely broke. But to no avail, it's a good victory, and we talked a little bit about the Devils getting absolutely blown out in the second half against Oregon. This one here, Larry Fitzgerald was on Jim Gray's podcast, and you really don't hear a lot of Larry out there. I don't know how many guys here locally. I know we try to get him on, but he seems to be kind of quiet about going about his business and kind of moving on. By the way, has Larry officially retired yet?
He is not officially retired. I don't think he's played in, was it 3 or 4 years? I think the COVID year was his last year, but that's just who Larry is. He doesn't want to be in the spotlight, but I wish, though, that before the season we would have known he would have retired and maybe had a farewell, because he deserves it.
Here's my question. Has he filed the papers yet? And that's a good – has he filed his retirement papers yet? Because a couple more years, I think he'll be up for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I think it's 5 years after you retire, you're up for the Hall of Fame. That's a good question, because if he hasn't, he would have to wait another 5 years additionally to the 3 or 4 years he's been absent.
As I mentioned, he was on Jim Gray's podcast, and here he is talking about Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
It's going to be pretty hard for anybody to avoid a loss when you're playing against Lamar Jackson. How stupendous is this guy? He records his third. In basketball, it's called a triple-double. In football, a double-triple. That's where you run for over 100 yards, which he did, and throw, obviously, for over 100 yards. And he's just so special to watch. There's no stopping this guy.
No, there is not. You just try to hope to contain him, Jim. He's he's the way he's able to just control games, with his arm, with his legs, and then you read about and you heard about the conversation he had with his teammates in the locker room. He's really turned into not only just a great player, but a terrific leader. Getting his teammates going, playing better, and you got to tip your hat to Mike McDonald, Jim. I mean, they didn't have one sack or an interception, but were able to, limit the Texans to, 23 minutes of total possession, 213 yards in total offense.
The one thing, when I think of Larry Fitzgerald talking about Lamar Jackson, and a lot of guys that go, Manuch, what's changed from a quarterback perspective? Well, number one, he can win from the pocket. He can throw from the pocket. And he's gone through his progressions like every quarterback should do before he takes off. Now, the blessing and curse of being a phenomenal athlete that's a quarterback, I think Steve Young went through this. Randall Cunningham went through this. Michael Vick went through this. I think Michael Vick finally got it maybe his last couple years when he was with Philadelphia. Randall Cunningham got it. Steve Young got it when they stopped running out of being frightful or not being confident and just started hanging in the pocket, going through their progressions. All of a sudden, they're going to NFC Championship games, AFC Championship games, and they're running if needed. Not to take their game away from them, but watching Lamar Jackson this year, he's performing like a real quarterback should. Now, they'll design plays for him. Don't get me wrong.
Yep.
Like that bootleg, that naked boot they had the other day, we ran in for a touchdown, or he's rolling out, and he's finding his receivers. Like Likely. I mean, through that touchdown pass to Likely, that was like his third choice. I went, bingo. That's it for Lamar Jackson. And to that point, I think those teammates realize that and see that he has become the complete quarterback, not just this outstanding athlete that happens to be a quarterback.
So let me ask you, because you talked about the evolution of quarterbacks, and when Larry Fitzgerald was playing, the most athletic quarterback he had when he was playing was what? Maybe Carson Palmer, Kurt Warner at some times would use his legs.
I don't know if he ever had an athletic, because most
who would you say was the most athletic quarterback that he played with? Because obviously he's not the standard athletic as like a Kyler Murray. I guess you could say Kyler Murray was probably the most athletic quarterback.
I will say this. I would say that Kurt Warner and Carson Palmer they moved their feet in the pocket. They didn't have great escapability. So when I don't think that he's really ever had that outstanding, unless I'm missing somebody, that would have been one of those outstanding athletes. Now, he wasn't around when Jake Plummer was quarterbacking for the Cardinals. Jake was a very outstanding athlete. Good escapability, could throw on the run, could do a lot of things. But I think what Larry Fitzgerald loved is he had guys who would do check downs and throw to him. I think the blessing for him was to have Kurt Warner and Carson Palmer. Those are the kind of things you wish for. But watching Lamar Jackson now, it's like, okay, if he's got to sit in the pocket and check down the second or third guy, now that he's got, looks like Mark Andrews is coming back. He's got 2 outstanding tight ends. He's got outstanding
3
receivers. And he also has an outstanding running back. So he's got the full arsenal. So now Lamar Jackson doesn't have to be the offense or create offense if things aren't going their way.
It's just crazy to see. This guy was, told that he was supposed to be a running back in the NFL. He gets picked 32nd overall. And now you're starting to see teams wanting to get those dual threat quarterbacks. You're starting to see projections of Jaden Daniels possibly being the second quarterback off the board over Drake May. So I ask you, Manuch, how has, what's the current market right now for quarterbacks? Because when you look back when Larry Fitzgerald was playing, it was all about, the guys that stay in the pocket, that are small, that can smart, that can throw the ball down the field. Now teams want those athletic quarterbacks that can do both. So I throw it to you. What's the evolution of quarterbacks right now that you're seeing in the National Football
Dual threat is a welcome. You look at Caleb Williams, Drake May's got decent escapability. You talk about Daniels. The kid can run, he can throw. The thing that I will say this, I've talked to a few scouts, what they're leery of is, as I said, the blessing and the curse of being an outstanding athlete, that having young quarterbacks like a C.J. Stroud, that basically he reads before he takes it. He does an outstanding job of reading the defense, throwing first, and then taking off second. And you would hope that when Caleb Williams comes and starts for whoever, that he will use that same model that Stroud has used with the Texans. That's the only thing that they're very leery of. But you got to understand that if you draft that dual threat guy, and yeah, that's kind of the way it is because there's more RPO, there's more spread. I mean, when you look at Brock, Brock Purdy, he's got outstanding escapability. He's good on the run. He's not going to run 4.40. They'll run you a 4.740.
They've got a good offensive line too. Same with the Ravens. That's one thing I've noticed this year. And you look at his previous MVP year, he's been healthy for both. And they finally have had time to give him offensive linemen to be behind and not get hurt, which is the good thing.
Hey, real quick before we move on, we're going to catch up with Jennifer Hammond with the Detroit Lions. She has a post-game show. We didn't really get a chance to break down the NBA Eastern Conference All-Stars. Give that to us real quick. And is it East versus West again this year?
Yeah, so the league is returning back to the East-West format. There'll be no draft, but the captains for each will start out with the East. Giannis is the captain with Joel Embiid, Jason Tatum, Tyrese Halliburton. What a year he's had, and Damian Lillard. For the Western Conference, LeBron James will be the captain, followed by Kevin Durant, Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You want to talk about one of the most improved players in basketball? SGA, Halliburton. It's cool to see those guys, young dudes, be in the starters.
By the way, Halliburton is questionable for tonight's game against the Suns. The Suns take on the Pacers tonight with a little bit of a hammy issue. So if you had not had a chance to watch Halliburton play any plays, besides our Phoenix Suns, must watch Iowa State.
Iowa State, him and Brock Purdy. How about that?
At the same time.
I was going to say, too, he has not had a chance to play with Siakam yet. So the Pacers are kind of dreading right now. They want to see those two on the court.
As I mentioned, coming up next, we'll go out to Detroit, catch up with Jennifer Hammond, who's the post-game host of the Lions Radio Network. It's Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, right here on Fox Sports 910, now on 99.9 FM HD3.
Clear. What's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix?
Kevin Durant was named a starter for this year's NBA All-Star Game, the selection the 14th of his career. The Suns continue their 7-game road trip against the Pacers. The stop is Indiana, the second of the trip following Wednesday's win over the Mavericks. They're looking for an 8th consecutive win. Eric Gordon remains questionable with his wrist soreness. Last night in college hoops, ASU lost on the road against Oregon. Arizona was stunned by Oregon State. The Sun Devils and Wildcats flip opponents tomorrow. ASU is at Oregon State. U of A visits Oregon. And GCU stays hot after topping Stephen F. Austin. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910. Available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Get ready for double the fun on the 101. Introducing the Salt River Rewards Program at Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort, the Valley's newest and best. With multiple tiers and endless benefits, we've got something for everyone. Don't miss out on the excitement. Salt River Rewards, the Valley's premier player rewards program, now at Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort. 2 properties, 1 amazing club, offering limitless fun on the 101. Discover the best in the Valley at saltriverrewards.com.
Life's a sprint. Meet G2G protein bars. Grab and go fuel for the office, links, and daily grind. Score an 8-pack at Costco or explore flavors at G2GBar.com. Quick, delicious, power-packed G2G protein bars. Setting your pace.
When you use your electric vehicle in autopilot or self-driving mode, accidents can still happen. Whether you're considered at fault or not, you may still have a claim. Lerner & Rowe has a dedicated team skilled in this new science. We are the first law firm in America with the ability to review the proprietary software and hold electric vehicle manufacturers responsible. If you or a loved one were injured in an electric vehicle accident, call Lerner & Rowe today.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Hey, this is Kelly Cooper. Are you ready for the ultimate sports experience? Look no further than BKD's Backyard Joint. At BKD's, we're not just a sports bar. We're the destination for the best food, drinks, and sports experience in the Valley. Located at the corner of Pecos and McQueen and Chandler, get ready to score big on fun and flavor. Only at BKD's Backyard Joint, where every day is game day. Check us out online at bkdsbackyard.com. That's bkdsbackyard.com.
It's Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing and your sexy status roof guy on Instagram and Facebook. Lesser roofers cut corners, cobbling together patchwork roofs to meet a budget, not State 48 Roofing. Give us a call today for your maintenance, repair, or full replacement needs.
At Van's Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, there's something that binds us all, the collective goal to transcend the ordinary. Introducing the new Callaway AI Smoke Driver. The new AI Design Club has multiple sweet spots across the face, making it an average of 7 yards longer than the prior model. Visit us in store for a free custom fitting at your local Van's Golf Shops or shop us online at worldwidegolf.com. Get there. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL playoffs, is bringing you an offer that'll help make the playoffs electrifying. New customers can bet $5 on any game and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Plus, everyone gets a no-sweat same-game parlay for every playoff game day. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code 910. New customers can bet just $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets.
She's there.
Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code 910. The crown is yours. 21 plus, Arizona only. Problem. 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Opt-in required. One no-sweat token issued per eligible day after opt-in. No-sweat bonus bet issued based on amount of losing qualifying bet. Eligibility, max reward limits, and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms.
DraftKings Sportsbook is bringing you an offer that'll help make the playoffs electrifying. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code SPORTS. New customers can bet just $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. With code SPORTS. The crown is yours. 21 and over. Arizona only. Gambling problem? 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms.
Here comes that person. Mayfield in the middle, intercepted! It's Derek Barnes! It's off to San Francisco for the Lions.
Thanks to NBC. Derek Barnes, the game-winning interception there in the fourth quarter as the Detroit Lions have punched their ticket onto the NFC Championship game in San Francisco. And I think we may be good luck for our next guest, Jennifer Hammond. She's a Lions post-game show for 97.1. The Ticket has been with Fox 2 Detroit for the past 26 years. Jennifer, it's Manuch alongside Jax. Welcome in. And I don't know if this continues. We have to talk to you the next couple weeks if you move on to the Super Bowls as the good luck charms for the Detroit Lions.
Hey, I'm down with that, but you got to promise me that you replace, and all props, love Mike Tirico. He's a buddy of mine, but you got to drop in the Dan Miller game-winning play from the radio broadcast if I'm on next week, okay? You got to promise me that.
We will do that. We got to make sure that we have the rights and the right to do that. As you know, in radio, we got to make sure we can do it that way.
This is true.
Hey,
I'll get you clearance. My radio station.
Thank you, and give Dan our best. I know he was struggling last week with that voice, but do you watch the game from the field, or are you up in the press box?
I'm up in the press box for the games.
Okay, I can guarantee you, I'll bet you dollars and don'ts, you were not sitting down on that final drive by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, correct?
Well, I actually was down on the field for that final drive, and when Derek Barnes picked up, so we get to go down on the field with 4 minutes left to go because we had to do a post-game show.
Okay.
So we were down there getting ready to get into place, and when Barnes picked it off, I think that's the loudest I've ever heard Ford Field in my life. I mean, it was insanity. And I was a little bit anxious. I thought for sure that Baker Mayfield wasn't going to be able to Matt Stafford them. If they would have put Stafford in that position the week before, which Ben Johnson wasn't about to do, that's why he wanted to make sure that they got the first down and they took the ball and they kept the ball. But I will tell you that by the time that pass was picked off, that place erupted and they ran right into the corner of the end zone and, did the defensive pose where we were standing. So I got a nice little clip of it for my social media, and it was magical. It was incredible. And that was DB's first pick ever in his career. So that guy has been just walking on clouds for the last week.
Yeah, I saw in the postgame you mentioned his first pick in 3 years, but people don't realize you can actually feel that energy of that fandom going through you. For example, when the Diamondbacks won in 2001 against the Yankees, my son and I were sitting out in the pool area.
That's cool.
And then when Luis Gonzalez hit that little flare over Derek Jeter, the crowd went nuts. He and I are standing. You could literally feel that wave of energy, whatever you call it, go through you. I was curious, did you feel that as well, too?
Yeah, I mean, the vibration that we have been feeling at Ford Field over the last 2 weeks has been incredible. And I was really rooting hard last week, obviously, for the Packers so the Lions could get the NFC Championship game on their own home field with their own fans. That would have been pretty special. But I think they've got a better path going against the 49ers. I think they match up better. I think a lot of people were a little bit nervous after seeing what Green Bay did to Dallas and thinking that that might be a little bit of a red flag that they didn't want to get that game against the Packers in the NFC Championship game.
So speaking of the Lions 49ers, what's the latest that you've been hearing from the Lions perspective? A ton of guys on questionable right now. What are some injury updates that you have for the Detroit Lions heading into Sunday's game?
Yeah. So I just finished up in the locker room. Frank Ragnow is good to go. He had a heavily wrapped left leg. As you recall, he didn't miss a snap last week, but he did go down with, as Jared Goff rolled up on him, looked like he had a knee and an ankle injury, probably just a sprain. He will go this week, which is great news. Other than that, we're still waiting for the final injury report. But at this point in time, I would guess the only guys that will likely miss the game will be Jonah Jackson and Khalif Raymond. Other than that, though, they are relatively healthy for this time of year, which is really good news. Obviously, Sam Laporta has been playing through his knee injury, and he's been effective. I mean, God, talk about a tough guy. He and Ragnow both, have just given master classes on playing hurt these last 2 weeks.
Well, in the addition of Zach Ertz as well, now Jennifer Hammond's joining us here on the right, try to get a sign. I mean, if Laporta goes down, you got Zach Ertz. How much has he been with the first team or practicing, and how does he look? Because he's had a long time off.
Yeah, he did have a long time off, and we don't get to watch the portion of practice where they're taking reps, with first team, etc. But what Jared Goff did say at the podium following practice is he's a veteran. He's a guy who's been there, done that, knows what he's doing, and he's been mixing in quite well. I don't know how many plays they'll actually draw up for him, although the fact that he's, even available for them in a blocking scheme is really going to be huge for the Lions, because that's something that Brock Wright was really important to this team with, was his blocking ability. And who knows, maybe they'll draw something up and put he and Laporta both out there, and he'll have to be respected. I mean, I think it's going to be kind of fun to see what Ben Johnson feels like he can do or wants to do with him. So I'm looking forward to that. And obviously Zach Ertz had great things to say about Dan Campbell, because, he was the same position and he's a guy that he respects. And he loves the way that he operates. So it's going to be fun to see what they do with Ertz.
And not that, I don't want to put this out there in the universe if a lot of people are out there, but if Laporta goes down and Ertz were to go down, do you take one of those tackles and line them up?
Don't even.
Report eligible. Make sure they report eligible.
Jennifer, it's a quarterback thing. I always want to make sure I know who's on first and what's on second,
Yeah, reporting eligible is one of the buzzwords that really get the crowd going here in Detroit.
Hey, Jennifer.
One last.
Sorry.
Dan Skipper reported eligible, the crowd went crazy. Go ahead. Sorry.
Hey, Jennifer, you being someone that reports and covers this team, came out early this week that Brad Holmes won Executive of the Year, first GM in Lions history. I mean, you talk about 3 rookies that made the first team, all-rookie team this year, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jack Campbell, and Sam Laporta. What's Brad Holmes like when you interview him, when you talk to him? And he seems like a pretty intense guy.
You know what Brad Holmes is like as a guy, and this is the thing that I choose to reflect on, and I feel like
3
we're
minutes
friends now after a week on the air. We saw him in the lobby bar in Green Bay, and he offered to buy me a bourbon, and I really I appreciated that. And he kind of picked my brain just about, I've been around for a minute and what I've seen and how great this fan base is, how great this city is. I mean, he's just a guy. That's my point about buying the bourbon. He's just a regular guy, except for when he gets on the elevator and screams at the top of his lungs after his team beats the Rams, for the first time in 32 years and advances to the next round. But he's really a great human. And I think that's one of the things I like the most about him. He's really approachable, and he has worked his way up. Talk about a guy who's earned everything he's gotten. It's a lot like this team. He oddly wears this Detroit type of mentality and personality, and he didn't even, he's only spent 3 years here. And earlier this week, it was actually kind of funny because some of the guys from the different draft classes, his first draft class was 21. The 21 guys and the 22 guys were kind of having a battle of which draft class is better. And it's really fun to hear, guys like Aleem McNeil and Amon-Ra and Penei Sewell and Aiden Hutchinson and all of them go back and forth, because those are guys that Brad Holmes brought to this organization, and they are major contributors. It's not just like they're guys that, they play a role. They are starters. They are depended on, and they're going to be superstars. Some of them already ascending between Amon-Ra and Aiden. It's really incredible to watch.
She's Jennifer Hammond. She does the post-game show for the Lions on 97.1 The Ticket. You can also tweet her at HammerFox2. That's at HammerFox2. Okay, so truth be told, I've been training Brock Purdy, as you know, since 9th grade. Want to see him have a great game.
You told me that.
Yeah, I mean, it just not that I'm biased or anything, Jennifer. So if you beat him, I'll be rooting for you. Trust me, I will. All that being said, what is the mantra after last week's game, now going into San Francisco for this team overall?
Keep it the same. Prepare the same. Go to work the same. Go to practice the same. It is what they've done all year long. Keep the same preparation, keep the same mindset. They're not getting too high, they're not getting too low. I asked Dan Campbell today if there was any special pregame comments that he was leaning toward, when he would think about that, if he would write something down, if he wanted to say something different, special to a team. And he said, that's a slippery slope. As soon as you start treating it like something different, then guys think they have to behave differently. And all we have to do is be who we are, who we've been all along, and that is a hard-nosed, resilient team that stays in the moment, and when things go wrong, it doesn't rattle us, and when things are going well, we stick to what we know. I mean, it's been unchanged all week long, even to the point that Dan Campbell had an extra day at the podium this week, and I think he was a little edgy today when he walked in and he had to do a fourth day. Tuesday they were off, but fourth day in front of so many extra media. He's like, this is all what becomes the extra. This is what makes it different. For us, it's all the same. We go in, we go about our business, we do everything that we've done all along, and it doesn't change. And I think that's a great mindset, and it's really their superpower.
Jennifer, great stuff. We always appreciate having you on. Best of luck going to San Francisco. And if we catch up with you next week, we catch up with you next week. How's that?
How about it? I love it. And I did talk to David Montgomery, who also is an Iowa State Cyclone, who was there for Brock Purdy's freshman year when he actually had to step in and play. And he had great praise for Brock, saying, this guy shouldn't be called irrelevant in any sense of the word, but he's resilient too, and he's tough, and he's going to be able to do a lot for that team. So look where it's gotten him. I love that sidebar.
Well, it's great because I will say this, Jennifer, for a lot of folks out there, he ignores the noise, but he does have that passion burning inside of him. I'll just kind of leave it at that.
Yep. So he and Jared Goff are two of the same. And it's going to be a great game regardless. I really think that football fans are getting the two best teams in the NFC this year, and it's going to be outstanding to watch those two offenses go toe-to-toe.
She's Jennifer Hammond. You can also tweet her at HammerFox2, at Hammer Fox. Jennifer, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Best of luck to you.
Thank you, guys. Hope I get to talk to you next week.
All right, that's it. Jennifer Hammond, and Jennifer is sponsored today by All City Towing. If you're looking for a career that pays great with incredible benefits, All City Towing continues to look for new people to join their team. Head to allcitytowing.com and search careers. All City Towing, statewide service, and they answer your call 24/7. That's allcitytowing.com. Well, coming up next, it's our football at 50 and our random fact, and it's on this day, courtesy of Arena Sports Grill. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910 and on 99.9 FM HD3.
Check this out.
This is The Herd.
You're excited. I'm excited.
With Colin Cowherd.
This roster, that pass rusher, that running back, that tight end, that safety, these weapons, Detroit can match San Francisco player for player. The star of the Lions, it's the front office. The Lions rookies are Pro Bowl level. Don't confuse Detroit with a Cinderella story.
This is The Herd. Monday at 10. Tell your smart speaker to play Fox Sports 910.
There are many signs that you may be in financial trouble. Late mortgage payments, paying bills from your retirement account, or paying one credit card with another. If you're experiencing financial hardship, bankruptcy may be right for you. The credit industry wants you to believe that bankruptcy is bad and will destroy your credit forever, but that's just not true. At Lerner & Rowe Law Group, we'll take the time to carefully examine your situation and develop a plan that is right for you. Call Lerner & Rowe Law Group today for a free consultation.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Sean Forster, Managing Attorney.
Looking for a change in your career? All City Towing is searching for motivated teammates to join their team. Current openings now available in customer service, tow truck operators, yard management, facilities maintenance, and dispatch. Apply online at allcitytowing.com/careers or call 480-833-7278.
The big one is almost here, and the only place year after year to watch it is in the showroom in Casino, Arizona. The team at Fox Sports 910 will be giving away the cash just for watching the big game, as this year marks our 25th consecutive season hosting the game of the year. You can win your share of all the cash prizes, as it's the return of our kickoff jackpot that will be over $3,000. Plus, you receive free $25 squares, along with a chance at winning $100 propositions. Doors open at 3, but space is limited, so it's first come, first serve. And for this year, you'll be able to wager, watch, and win with the new Casino Arizona Sportsbook. Don't be shut out. Just be 21 or older and be present in the showroom at Casino Arizona. This is the only way to watch the big game. Full-service lounges, great game menus, and tons of ways to win cash. It's Fox Sports 910's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.S. Big Game Viewing Party in the showroom at Casino Arizona.
No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. From tequila cocktails to an extensive bourbon category to top shelf spirits and cocktails served over ice balls in the 29-degree drafts. Stop by any 5 Valley Twin Peaks locations today.
When it comes to insurance, we don't focus on the competition. We focus on our customers. At Crest Insurance Group, customer service is not what we do, but who we are. Now more than ever, businesses and families are turning to knowledgeable partners to help provide them with the insurance coverages they need. We've worked hard to become one of the country's top independent agencies, and our clients benefit from our vision, experience, and outstanding service. Contact Crest and let our insurance professionals tell you what they see. You'll be glad you did.
Dukes on Miller and McDowell.
The only place you're going to find 3 10-foot screens with games on full volume in 3 separate rooms, all in the same bar.
Dukes on Miller and McDowell.
With dozens more big screens. You'll find every game you're looking for only at Dukes, because there's only one Dukes. Voted best sports bar by New Times.
Dukes on Miller and McDowell.
Pool tables, shuffleboard tables, darts, karaoke and trivia nights. 3 huge patios on the Greenbelt, all doggy friendly.
Where? Dukes! Where? Dukes! Miller and McDowell! Scottsdale!
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Now back to the Roc and Manuch Show, live from Wright Toyota. Right on the corner, right on the selection, and always right on the price. Wright Toyota, 77th Street and Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale, and online at wrighttoyota.com. It's Football at 50, the latest top football story trending this hour, right here with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910 and the iHeart Radio app.
Boy, there's a lot going on this weekend with the conference championships. Let's start with the Baltimore Ravens. Looks as though Mark Andrews has been activated off the injured reserve. Looks like he is a go for the AFC Championship game. He had that ankle injury, and he said he's been working morning, noon, and night, Jackson. He's been somewhat of a full go the last couple of weeks for the Ravens.
Yeah, they've got so many NFL medications and shots and stuff like that they can give him before the game. And, oh, yeah, that thing called adrenaline, the AFC Championship, he's going to be fired up. But you look at Lamar's, I mean, this opens up the playbook a ton. Passing game-wise, his leading receiver, when you look at all-time passing touchdowns, 33 of his 125 passing touchdowns are to one Mark Andrews.
Another individual that's going to be closely watched, maybe a game-time decision in San Francisco. Deebo Samuel took another step to playing on Thursday. Yesterday's practice was limited. He missed on Wednesday, but Deebo seems, from all indications, that he could be, as they say in Texas, Jax, he might be going on Sunday afternoon.
So, Manuch, if he does play, how do you see his role being in this offense? My first question. Second question, if he does not play, how do you see the 49ers adjusting without Deebo?
Well, I think a couple things. You'll see Ray get involved. You'll see Jennings get more involved. But I think when you ask, are they going to protect Deebo? No. They'll run their offense. Kyle Shanahan's not going to do that. If you're good to go and you're good to go, we're going to run our offense just like slated. So he was running routes. He was feeling pretty good. The only thing is if he takes a shot to that shoulder again, I mean a hit, a helmet, not the medical shot, then that might be something where a contusion gets involved. But to answer your question, they'll run their offense that he's 110%. It looks as though now they have the AP top offensive players finalists were announced. Lamar Jackson, Christian McCaffrey, Dak Prescott, also Josh Allen and Brock Purdy, and along with Tyreek Hill and CeeDee Lamb, all finalists for Offensive Player of the Year, Jax.
Yeah, I mean, you look, it's cool to see those non-quarterbacks get in there. You've got three of them, all phenomenal. But if I was a betting man right now, you would think Christian McCaffrey or Tyreek Hill are your top two in terms of how pivotal offensive players they are in those offenses.
I think that I think it's come down between Lamar Jackson and Brock Purdy. I think Purdy's all of his numbers are number one for all passing numbers.
You think that for the MVP, though, not the offensive player?
Well,
they might go somewhat
different.
I think
what's a combination. I get you. I know what you're saying, the offensive player versus the all-around guy. I don't know. Sometimes they kind of go hand in hand. When you looked at them over the years, you looked at the Brett Favre, the Aaron Rodgers, some of those that won the MVP, and then the Offensive Player of the Year, somewhat hand in hand. So this is going to be a close run, and this will be, I think somebody will win this by a nose. But I still think that if it's not Brock, it'll be Lamar Jackson.
So you got one vote towards quarterback, one vote towards a non-quarterback. I'm going to throw it to our third guy in the booth, Chris Schubert. Where do you lie in the Offensive Player of the Year?
Yeah, for a quarterback, let's go Lamar Jackson. I think it's pretty clear to me that he is the runaway favorite. And if I have to pick a quarterback, Christian McCaffrey. The knock on Tyreek Hill is going to be that he missed some time and wasn't. If he got to 2,000 yards like they were trying to get him to throughout the course of the year, I think he would be the slam dunk. But no, I will go Christian McCaffrey.
Football 50 is courtesy of Arena Sports Grill. Off-track betting all the games with sound and great food with daily specials. All at Arena Sports Grill in Scottsdale, open from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. every day. Well, here's our random fact of the day, and there's one on here I wasn't aware of. But back in 2013, the Washington Commanders coaching staff now has 5 NFL head coaches, and there could be a 6th. So think about this. Kyle Shanahan, who was the offensive coordinator. Sean McVay was the assistant. Matt LaFleur, I think, handled quarterbacks. Mike McDaniel, and as of yesterday in Atlanta, Raheem Morris. Now, Bobby Slowick, who is currently the Texans' offensive coordinator, could be. The 2 remaining openings are Seattle and Washington. So he's interviewed at both. So there could be one more from that staff. That was a very, very young staff. And a lot of people were looking at Mike Shanahan, who was the coach of the Washington Commanders in those days, or Redskins before they changed their name, looking at that staff going, what are you doing with all these kids running your team? And he felt they were very capable. But think about that. Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, Matt LaFleur, Mike McDaniel, Raheem Morris, and maybe Bobby Slowick.
And you talk about future. Oh, sorry, shoot. Go to you.
No, I just wanted to bring up something that I think you guys will find very funny. Some great coaches, some of the best offensive minds we have in the game right now. If you were starting a franchise, I'm asking this to both of you. You would want Matt LaFleur to be one of your head coaches. Mike McDaniel, sure, sign me up. Bobby Slowick, Raheem Moore, all these guys, right? You're like, oh, get these guys on my team to coach. Team went 3-13. The 2013 Washington team went 3-13.
Because they were all destined to be head coaches, I guess.
I think the inexperience shown itself. And RG3, you got to remember, he was the rookie quarterback starting. They were just starting the RPO and understanding how to run it, how to do it. As a matter of fact, Kyle Shanahan and McVay and LaFleur used to have knockdown, drag-out arguments trying to set that up with the installs and trying to make all that happen. So those are some of the things when you stop and look back with that very young staff. On this day, very sad day, today marks 4 years since the death of NBA legend Kobe Bryant, his 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, and 7 other people in a helicopter crash in Calabasas, California. The other victims were 2 of Gianna's basketball teammates, their parents, and the helicopter pilot. And I got to tell you what, I'll never forget the day. It was a Sunday, that day, that happened about 10:30 in the morning out there training quarterbacks. And of all people, intern Barney texted me and said, hey, Manuch, did you see this? And I saw it, and all of us, there must have been 8 quarterbacks, receivers. I just said, everybody come together and kind of broke the news. A very, very, very sad day.
Yeah, I remember where I was. I was snowboarding in Idaho, and there was no reception. And the guy at the ski lift actually said, "Did you hear about Kobe?" I'm like, "What would you hear?" And he told the news. We went all the way to the top of the mountain, Manuch, way like the Black Diamond. I'm not a Black Diamond type snowboarder. We had to see the news, and you're just so sad. And when I heard the news, I was hoping Gianna wasn't on it because she's just so talented. But rest in peace. Can't believe it's been 4 years.
Absolutely. Hey, your Arena Sports Grill schedule of sports for the weekend. Off-track betting, all the games with sound and great food with daily specials, all at Arena Sports Grill in Scottsdale. As I mentioned, open from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. every day. Tonight, the Suns at the Pacers. That's 5 o'clock on 3 TV. Tomorrow, Arizona at Oregon. That's at 3:30 on Fox. ASU, Oregon State, 5 o'clock, Pac-12 Networks. Coyotes at Hurricanes tomorrow at 5 p.m. at KSAW. And then the NFC and AFC Championships, 1 o'clock, Chiefs and Ravens, CBS. And at Fox, Lions at 49ers. That's going to be all happening this week. Coming up next, hour number 2, Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B, right here on Fox Sports 910.
Clear.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B has been sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing.
Jenny!
Hey, Jenny!
Jenny, come on in! Steve!
Hey, Steve!
Steve, how you doing?
Meg!
Meg, nice to see you! Hey, Meg!
Arena Sports Grill. Come on out for the sports, off-track betting, incredible food, and friendly faces. The best daily specials in Scottsdale. Arena Sports Grill, 62nd Street in Bell. We know you.
Make plans for the big one Sunday, February 11th in the showroom in Casino, Arizona. Win cash just for watching the big game, as this year marks Roc and Manuch with Jimmy BS, the 25th consecutive season. Doors open at 3. First come, first serve. Just be 21 or older. It's the big game viewing party with tons of cash and giveaways. See you February 11th at Casino, Arizona.
iHeartRadio Earth is here with a new way to enjoy our beautiful planet. Reduce your impact on the environment this fall by packing a waste-free lunch for school or work. Avoid foods with excessive packaging. Use reusable cutlery, napkins, cups, bags, and containers, and recycle or compost any waste when possible. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living, or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/Earth.
Hello, Phoenix. We have some exciting news. Local high school sports has a new home right here on Fox Sports 910 AM. The Coach B and Eternal radio show can now be heard right here on Fox Sports 910 every Sunday morning at 6:30 a.m. Don't miss it.
If you have a dog, you might be worried about your good boy being bad for your carpet. But if you had Life-Proof with Pet-Proof technology carpet, you wouldn't have to worry, even if you had a whole pack of dogs. Because Life-Proof with Pet-Proof technology delivers permanent built-in stain and soil protection that never washes or wears off. Quiet, sit, good dogs. Life-Proof with Pet-Proof technology available at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
When you use Bounce dryer sheets and your clothes look amazing, it's the sheet. Less static in your life? Yeah, it's the sheet. Smelling fresher than ever? It's the sheet. Oh, so soft fabric? Ooh la la. It's the sheet. Less wrinkles on your clothes? You know it's the
I hate
sheet.
this ad.
Bounce dryer sheets. More freshness, more softness. Less static, less wrinkles. It's the sheet.
Lerner and Rope is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd, Monday from 10 to 1. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD3 Phoenix. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports talk, podcasts, and music. Free never sounded so good.
The Suns looking for an 8th consecutive win as they take on the Pacers in Indiana, a Pacers team that will not again have the injured Tyrese Halliburton. The Yotes back on the ice tomorrow when they call on the Hurricanes. Conference championship weekend in the NFL. The Chiefs visit the Ravens Sunday first. Ravens tight end Mark Andrews has been activated off injured reserve. He will play. That'll be followed by the 49ers hosting the Lions. Former Cardinals coach Cliff Kingsbury interviewing today for the offensive coordinator job of the Raiders. Yannick Sinner defeated Novak Djokovic to advance to the Australian Open final. He will meet Daniil Medvedev. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Now your chance to win $1,000. Just enter the nationwide keyword cash at foxsports910.com. That's cash at foxsports910.com.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
Happy Friday. A nice day on tap. We'll see temperatures in those upper 60s with plenty of sunshine. For tonight, those clear skies will continue with temperatures dipping down into those mid to upper 40s. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
Report is sponsored by Kaiko Roofing.
It's been raining here in the valley. Problems with your roof? Call Kaiko Roofing, the residential and commercial roofing specialists. 602-944-4600. Here for 30 years, the valley's most trusted roofer. KaikoRoofing.com.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B is sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing. Time for the top local and national stories of the hour. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Bet big on your favorite teams and players in an environment that's as exciting as the game you're watching. There's no better place in the valley to get in on the action. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar. Now, guys, what's your top story this hour?
Dan Manuch alongside Jackson Groff and Chris Schubert here at Right Toyota. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. And your top headlines are brought to you this hour by the Big Game Viewing Party. Make plans to join us for the Big Game Viewing Party Sunday, February 11th in the showroom at Casino, Arizona, with games and cash giveaways to really level up and liven up the fun when your share of the cash just for watching the game. As if the football friends isn't enough, we're sweetening the deal with exciting giveaways. Each attendee will be issued free squares to win money after every quarter based on the score of the game. Plus, we'll have a kickoff jackpot, propositions, and jersey giveaways. Jackpot going to start over $3,000. It's our 25th year of partnering with Casino Arizona. Free admission. That's right, free with your Salt River Rewards card. Now, the doors are going to open up at 3 o'clock, folks, so I would highly recommend, Jackson, I say highly recommend you get there a couple hours early. Go around the casino. You can do a lot of different things. Go over to the Sportsbook, the CAZ Sportsbook, get something to eat, get your wagers, and get all that done before you get into the CAZ showroom. Yes, Shu.
See, Manuch, you set it up perfectly, and you didn't even know it because you're talking about you got to get there early. You got to be able to get your spot. When you were doing the read, instead of Sunday, you said Saturday. The reason why is because people are probably going to have to get there on Saturday to be able to get a spot on Sunday to be able to be a part of the Big Game Viewing Party.
Thank you so much for covering me up there, Shu. I definitely appreciate that, my man. You look at Kevin Durant being named to the All-Star starter for the All-Star game, and it's been a while, guys. It's been since 2010. The last Phoenix Suns starter or starters was a combination of Amari Stoudemire and Steve Nash. It's been that long when you stop and think about it. But KD, along with LeBron James, Luka Doncic, you got Jokic the Joker, and SGA are all going to be in. Now, the reserves will be voted on, thank God, by the NBA head coaches, and that will be announced this next Thursday coming up.
Yeah, and we're grateful that the coaches get to vote on this because, the fans had Devin Booker as the 9th best or 9th highest in the backcourt for the Western Conference. So he's most likely going to be there for the reserves. The inside the NBA guys all had Devin Booker, except Charles Barkley, who said he loves Devin Booker, but he put Fox and Sabonis in there as his last 2 spots. I think Devin Booker's probably in between 7 and 8 in terms of reserves of how high he should be, but we'll see where the coaches vote.
We'd be remiss if we didn't talk about Jock Peterson signing a 1-year, $9.5 million contract. The deal includes a mutual option for 2025. He's 32 years old, spent the past 2 seasons with the Giants, hitting .235 with 15 homers and 51 RBIs last year. Shu, I think the other thing, the benefactor, I want to get your thoughts, is that playing all those, 7 years with the Dodgers, knowing what it takes to win, and especially knowing what it takes to win championships and World Series.
Yeah, I mean, he's a professional hitter, right? And that's what the Diamondbacks needed more of in their lineup. This is a guy that you can count on every single day to go out there and be your DH. And at the end of the season, we're going to look up, and he's going to hit probably around 240 or 250. He's going to have close to 20 homers, and he is going to be somebody that can be in the middle of that lineup to bring the boom with Christian Walker and Eugenio Suarez. That's what this Diamondbacks team was missing. And I ask you to go look at anywhere that they have a projected lineup for the Arizona Diamondbacks in 2024 and tell me how it isn't better than the lineup that they had in 2023. That's not to say they're going to go back to the World Series. That's not to say they're going to win the division. That's not to say they're going to win the World Series. But 1 through 6, there is a lot of trust in what this Diamondbacks offense is going to be able to produce on a night in and night out basis. And they've improved their starting rotation as well. So if you're a Diamondbacks fan, you've kept this young core in place, you've added to it on the margins in different spots. You have to feel really good about the team that Mike Hazen and company have put together for this season.
Yeah, and also he's a left-handed bat. That's what I like about it. Professional hitter, got some pop, can drive the ball to all fields. So I think it's a good pickup. Maybe for a lot of Diamondback fans wasn't the number one choice, but to that avail, I think he's still a good choice. Hey, folks, coming up at 3 o'clock, especially you Wildcat fans, head football coach for U of A, Brett Brennan, will be joining us at 3. So tune in to get his thoughts on what's going on down at U of A. I'm sure it's been a whirlwind for one Brett Brennan, the new head coach at the University of Arizona. Guys, I want to kind of just take a little bit of a breather from what's going on to what's already happened so far in the National Football League. We got the Chargers. Oh. I'm sorry, what's that, you?
No, you said take a breather, so I took a breath into the microphone, and then I said, what are we going to do now?
Well,
so I was just making a joke. I'm sorry. I'll turn my mic.
That's okay.
Jeez.
Just don't ever let it happen again. Chargers with Jim Harbaugh. Commanders have yet to name somebody. The Panthers are Dave Canales. Raheem Morris, the Falcons. I think that's a good choice. Bill Belichick sounded like he wanted too much control. Just speculating that, folks. I don't know for sure. Gerard Mayo with the Patriots. Antonio Pierce will stay with the Raiders. Seattle still looking for a head coach. I think Slowick, offensive coordinator for the Texans, might be the lead there. And last but not least, Brian Callahan, who will be calling the plays for the Tennessee Titans, are all in place. Guys, I mean, for all intents and purposes, I like the picks. I just hope that David Canales gets the support he's going to need. We talked about that a lot yesterday in Carolina. But I think from here on out, you look at 1, 2, 3, 3 of the – I guess Harbaugh's kind of an offensive guy, but 3 of those so far are defensive guys.
Yeah, and I think the biggest – my favorite hire in all of these, and I know Jim Harbaugh was a great hire for the Chargers. I'm a big fan of Raheem Morris and what he's going to do there with Atlanta. This is a young coach, like we said in the last hour, in the 2013 Redskins coaching staff. He's familiar with the area. He was the interim head coach in 2020. He was the defensive backs coach. He did everything there at his time with the Falcons. Now he comes back as the head coach. There's tweets come out from personnel that he said that he had a plan in his first interview, and it was great. They were impressed with him. In his second interview, he blew it out of the water, and they had to sign Raheem Morris. But they're in a situation right now, and thanks to DeMeco Ryans and what he did with the Texans, they could draft a quarterback in the draft and have a defensive scheme of Raheem Morris and completely change around the Falcons in a weak division, just like what the Texans did last year. So it'll be interesting to see what they do in the draft, but I love the hire there with Raheem
And
Morris.
one thing, Shu, that I look at is for the Seahawks and Commanders, brand new ownership with the Commanders, Seahawks, do they follow the Pete Carroll way of life they had for so many years? But those are the intriguing ones of which way they lean and what kind of a head coach in the prowess from the defensive side versus the offense.
Yeah, I mean, listen, for the Commanders, it is a completely new organization that for the first time is going to be able to put their say onto a GM head coach combo. They got their GM. Now they're going to go out and get their head coach. And while you guys were talking, I wrote down on my little trusty notepad here that I keep notes on while we're doing the show. And I wrote down who I thought made a ton of sense for Washington. You have one of the top picks in the draft. A quarterback is certainly on the table. Go get Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. Pair him with the quarterback that he feels is going to give his team the best chance to win. And let's be honest, guys, the NFC East is not the great division that we thought it was. The Eagles appear to be falling apart at the seams. The Dallas Cowboys play well in the regular season, but can't break through in the postseason. And the Giants took a step back from where they were in year one with Brian Dable. So you're not that far off. If you get a quarterback, you get a good offensive mind in there, you can very quickly hit the ground running, a la what Houston was able to do. And for Seattle, I'll ask this to you, Manuch, because I'm confused by this. They move on from Pete Carroll. Maybe it's because he's 70-plus years old. Maybe they wanted to get some new voice in there. But Pete Carroll's known for being a defensive guy. So my immediate thought was they were going to go to the other side of the ball. Yet it feels as though their top candidate is Dan Quinn, who's a defensive guy. And so that feels very weird to me that you're going to move on from Pete and still go to that same side of the ball when your offense was kind of the thing that held you back at times.
Well, and here's when Pete Carroll went out saying it wasn't the coaches, it was above management that made the decision. So the ownership, what's Alan's first name? Is it Judith or whatever? He said it wasn't football people that made the decision. So to your point, Shu, it seems as though she wants to keep up with the Joneses, i.e. the offenses in the NFL. So I think somebody's in her ear about, look, you guys need to be more offensive. And to your point, Shu, yeah, it was the offense that really kind of picked up this defensive-minded team. And you looked at Geno Smith throwing the ball up and down the field. They had the receiving core. So I think just because I think just ownership is feeling they want to go the offensive way and change that tune of all defense and going the offensive way, because when it comes from non-football people, that to me is, hey, what's the flavor of the week? What's the way of the NFL now? Well, it's probably the offenses, but defense, running game, special teams still win championships, and offenses seem to be a little more spice for what they're doing. So I should answer your question. I think they're going to go offense. That's why I think Slowick might be the lead in that situation.
I might throw an audible. I might throw a wild card at you guys, because I think they're going to go defense, but a younger guy. Like you said, how Lamar Jackson changed the NFL in quarterbacks. I think Sean McVay is doing that with younger coaches. Mike McDonald, the defensive coordinator from the Ravens.
This is a great call.
I think is someone that they could get in there. You talk to guys like Kyle Van Noy, you talk to guys like Roquan Smith. They love the scheme that he has put in the Ravens. He comes from Michigan. He was the defensive coordinator. That was his first time being the defensive coordinator. Goes to the Ravens. He's been there for 2 years and has transformed this Ravens defense. I think that's a guy. And you look at the Seahawks defense, they got a lot of young talent, could change the scheme there. I like Mike McDonald for the Seahawks.
Manuch, this is not a shot at your age. This is just a point I'm making. You've been around the block a couple of times. You've seen these head coaching cycles. Do you remember the days in which when teams had head coaching openings, they would take the coordinators from the team that won the Super Bowl or was playing in the Super Bowl? Because I'm old enough, I'm only 29, to remember when that was the case. Well, the other names I have written down here for these jobs are Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator in Detroit, and as Jack just mentioned, Mike McDonald, the defensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens. Like, if you want to be good, get the coaches on the good teams. It's a very easy formula. You want to be good? These coaches are good. Bring them into your building if they fit. And so, to me, Aaron Glenn should get some love. McDonald should get some love. Ben Johnson should get some love. I mean, all of these coordinators, I think, are deserving of head coaching openings.
Yeah, classic example is look at the Cardinals. Jonathan Gannon, defensive coordinator for the Eagles, took them to the Super Bowl.
Shane Steichen, Colts, coordinator for
so you
the
look
Eagles.
at that. I would say this, guys, the defensive-minded guys, those are great picks. But I think for Seattle, the way at least I hear what they're saying, that might be well and good. They might go that route defensive, but they're also going to say, well, you better pick a damn good offensive coordinator. We want to see more of the flying Melinda brothers, more balls in the air, less running, whatever. And I'm like, well, you've been saying that. You had to, because you didn't have much of a running game. So I think this weekend, I think prior to the Super Bowl, I think that the last two would probably be the choices to be filled. Hey, we'll take the fifth caller for our Learn and Row over and under contest. You'll have a chance to take on $50 gift card if you can beat him in the contest. Just give us a call, 602-260-9191, 602-260-9191. That's all coming up next. It's Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B right here at Wright Toyota on Fox Sports 910 and now on 99.9 FM HD3.
Monday on the drive, after months of terrible quarterback play and bummer.
Yeah, it just makes so much sense.
We finally have a Super Bowl preview. Who will battle it out in Super Bowl 58? We will break it down at 6:05 on the drive. Fox Sports 910 and your free.
He's in his 30s, I think.
Whether your favorite team is in the playoffs or not, you always win when you order pickup or delivery from Venezia's Pizzeria for your football.
Oh, Todd Monken.
Venezia's.
He just got there, so I feel like it might be a little quick. Like if he does this again with Lamar and they're really good on offense, he's definitely going to get one.
Venezia's will please everyone at your football party with pizza, wings, and other fan favorites. Vegan options, too. That's Venezia's, your football party favorite. 6 Valley locations. Order now at Venezias.com.
Well, that's fine, but then why is Dan Quinn the leading candidate?
And your sexy status roof guy on.
Because if you just, no offense to Dan Quinn, I'm sure he's a nice guy, right? And he had a decent run in Atlanta.
Budget.
But if you want a defensive guy, you had a defensive guy. And I think Pete's a better culture guy than Dan Quinn is.
Just looking to get back into the
So I just don't understand.
Look no further. All city.
Now, if you got Aaron Glenn, I could make a
in
case.
the areas of customer service, tow truck operators, yard management,
Dan
facilities
Quinn,
maintenance, and dispatch. If you're looking for a challenge,
kind of out on Dan Quinn.
Opportunity, a great benefits program, including 401k program with a generous company match, and a company that is a leader in the industry, apply online at allcitytowing.com.
It was also Kyle Shanahan's reason why they didn't win it, but yes, fair enough.
Department at 480-833-7278. All City Towing is Arizona's largest towing transport vehicle.
Seattle should do the if you can't beat them, join them, and just hire Bobby Slowick, who was off at that San Francisco coaching trip.
Enjoy helping others by providing great customer service, working as a team, and possess great communication skills.
Yeah, of course.
It's for you. Apply online at allcitytowing.com/careers or call 480-833-7278. That's allcitytowing.com.
Yeah.
The annual Big Game Viewing Party is set again in the showroom in Casino, Arizona. Sunday.
They can probably restructure Gino's contract a little bit.
Doors open.
I haven't done a deep dive on their cap situation.
First serve for this free event.
Yeah, most teams can restructure deals pretty easily and free up some cash.
For more details.
Let the experts at Level 5 Lighting, all-in-one exterior permanent LED lighting, brighten up your world. Level 5 lights work with Alexa, Google Home, and Control4 smart home systems. So lighting up your home for any holiday, sporting events, security, or accent lighting has never been brighter. Calling sports enthusiasts. Get ready for your favorite game day. Get your lights installed with this month's special. 12 months, no interest financing if you qualify. Go to level5lighting.com to request a free quote. That's level5lighting.com. Level 5 Lighting, Arizona's outdoor LED experts.
On game day, you want to focus on 3 things: football, friends, and food. And what makes all those better? Kingsford Original Charcoal. Kingsford Original gives grilled food an authentic wood-fired barbecue flavor you can't get anywhere else. Well-fed friends are happy friends. So good. And football, well, it's just fun with a burger in hand. Elevate your backyard game day grilling with Kingsford Original Charcoal, America's grilling expert. Kingsford.com.
I don't have one call. I play the Kevin Rowe Open here.
With Liberty Mutual.
And Friday we swap it out for this for the different opens.
But what to buy with those savings?
Yeah. But this is just this is a different read for him coming on.
Yep, I bought a sound effects machine.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com. Savings may vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Time to challenge the defender. Attorney Kevin Rowe from Arizona's top full-service law firm, Lerner & Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And Lerner & Rowe, no fees unless you win. Now Counselor Kevin Rowe with Roc and Manuch on Fox Sports 9.
You're hot.
That's right. He joins us each and every Friday. He'll be competing against Rocky Salinas, who's given Chew his picks already. Counselor, it's Manuch alongside with Jax. We got Shoe Man on the phones. Rock's gone. Jimmy B's gone. We can finally dive into some football with any kind of distractions, interruptions. How's that?
Well, I think
Hey, but I think I have a problem here. Rock's what, another load management day? What's going on here?
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things, some of the things you just got to do. And you know what? We encourage him for load management days, but I think because me and Jimmy B kind of get under his skin and that blood pressure goes up. So if he's looking for load management.
Make sure you're not paying him.
Well, he's the boss. So I think he takes a stipend versus salary on that load management day.
He should be taking something a lot less. Actually, you know what? You're right, Manuch. This brings the quality of programming up today. So fantastic. Good job on keeping him on his load management.
Thank you. We appreciate that. Now, before we get started, truth be told, just for all you folks out there, a lot of you all know I've been training Brock Purdy since 9th grade. And then now, if you didn't know, one Kevin Rowe went to high school with his mother, Carrie Purdy. So there might be some bias in some of these picks, but I think I don't know if we take our caps off when do we think from our heart or our head when I give you these over-unders there, Counselor?
So, first of all, you're absolutely right. I did grow up. I went to high school, same high school with his mother. And at one time, they lived 2 houses down from us when I was a kid. So, definitely close relationship, great family. But I can tell you this, heart or mind, I'm going to tell you right now, they both are in alignment of what picks we're going to be going right now. Some of these people I just don't understand. And Manuch, you and I have texted back and forth a couple times the past few weeks. What they're trying to persecute this poor kid. And it's Brock just goes and does his thing. That's what's so great about him is that he just goes and does what needs to be done. I mean, he played in the rain last week. Was it a great game? It's in the rain. Nothing's a great game. It was pouring. But at the end of the day, he did the job. He stopped the motion. He handed off the ball, called the right play, and gave it to McCaffrey to run. He's a general on the field and, honestly, off the field. He is a God-fearing, great kid, smart kid. He's one of those kids out there you want all your boys to idolize and look up to. Sure. And he understands that and takes that role seriously. So at the end of the day, all these people out there saying, these naysayers, it's a little frustrating to hear what they've done and continue to do to this poor kid. But this weekend, this is where it stops. Well, and all the naysayers are going to have to shut up after this.
Well, and I certainly hope so. But one of the things I do is I retweet is no matter what you and I say, I retweet those people that know football inside, outside, that see what you and I see on top of that. So, you know what? It's hard to ignore the noise, but I know one guy that does ignore the noise, and that's a Brock Purdy because his focus is on that team and winning football games. And so we'll get that all started. Speaking of Brock Purdy, the over-under is you're competing against Rocky Salinas in Phoenix. The total passing yards combined for the 49ers-Lions game will be over-under 500 yards, Counselor. Over-under 500 yards. Which way are you going?
Yeah, so here's the thing. First of all, this is one of those dream matchups, I think, in both games this weekend. And I know you've had all week to talk about this stuff, so I'm not telling you anything new. But having first pick Jared Goff coming and redeeming himself in the Detroit Lions, I mean, that's a great story. And then, Mr. Irrelevant in his second year that's just been nothing but blowing stats away, MVP consideration. It's a great matchup. 49ers being at home is a great matchup. And I think what you're going to see, a lot of this is going to be on Brock. I think this weekend, Brock getting the ball out,
yes,
and being the general on the field because, the defense for the Detroit, they're a great run defense. So I think the ball's going to be put in the air a lot. They're going to get McCaffrey out more. And if Debo's playing, which I have no doubt he will, just may not be 100%, they're going to get him and Ayuk the ball. There's a lot of weapons and obviously Kittle. So I'm going to take with this. I think Goff's going to be throwing the ball a lot. I no doubt Purdy's going to get the ball out. So let's have fun with it. Go with the over.
All right. Which way did Rocky go there, Shu?
Also took the over.
All right.
Let's go total rushing yards, Counselor. Combined in the 49ers-Lions game will be over under 225 yards. And to your point, what you just said, I think we know where you're leaning on this.
Yeah.
Total rushing yards, Counselor. What do you got?
Yeah, so it's good. It's an interesting thing, right? So I was just mentioned about that that the ball is going to be in the air more for the 49ers. But when you look, the Lions have a good rushing combination back here with Gibbs and Montgomery.
Yeah.
And they are going to run the ball, and it's going to be interesting to see how the 49ers are going to be able to hold that and hold them down, because they got a big rushing impact. So over under 225, it's a lot. I no doubt we're still going to find 49ers a way to get the ball to McCaffrey. They're going to keep punching that run down as well too, but and if Debo's playing, he'll run the ball. Look, 225. I'm gonna go with the under.
All right. Which way did Rocky go there, Shu?
Rocky took the over.
Okay, there's our difference. All right, this is going to be a big game, and a lot pointing to this individual. Total offense of Baltimore Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson, running and passing, will be over under 325 yards. Now, he ran for about 100 last week, and I think he threw for about, 2 something, somewhere in there. Yeah, 2 touchdown passes, 2 touchdown runs. So over under for Lamar Jackson, total offense, counselor, 325 yards. Which way you leaning?
Yeah, that's a lot. But again,
3.
Lamar Jackson, and he does a lot with his speed, and he's definitely still going to throw the ball. And they're going to need him. I mean, look, this isn't. I know you're reading stats on everything, and Lamar, it should be. Well, it's interesting. I'll get to that, I think, with the next question. But it's going to be interesting. I think Lamar Jackson will probably be over. I'm going to go with the over. When you take his running and throwing, I think it'll be over 325.
And Rocky's going which way, Shu?
The over.
Over. Last but not
Rocky
least.
likes the over.
Last but not least, counselor, the winner and score of the 49ers-Lions game. Who you got?
Yeah, so this has been really interesting. Obviously, the Cinderella story with
2 minutes.
the Lions and everything that we kind of previously talked about. I'm not part of that Cinderella story. The 49ers are at home. I think that's going to weigh in big. I think the talent of Brock Purdy and the talent around him is going to be the game changer. And I got to stick with San Francisco 49ers without a doubt. And a lot of people have been calling this game close, if not for the 49ers. If not for the Lions, which has been odd. I've been seeing a lot of the underdog in this game. But they've had it real close, Detroit, by 3 or 4 points. I don't think it's going to be that close. I'm going with the 49ers 34-27.
34-27. All right, Shu, which way did Rocky lean?
He's taking the Lions. He's taking the Lions 38-30.
Ooh, man.
High scoring game.
Both close games.
Interesting.
It is. Well, counselor, that was so
I normally don't root against somebody really all that hard.
1 minute.
Rocky, I seriously hope you lose that last one.
So do I. Hey, counselor, this was great. There was no interruptions. We had a very articulate and sane and loquacious conversation about the over-unders. So maybe we give Brock maybe we give him a load management day every Friday, huh?
Hey, it's fine with me, Manuch. It's always great having a good conversation with you, and especially about somebody we like so much, at Brock Purdy.
Have a great weekend and enjoy it, and we'll catch up with you next week, counselor. Thanks so much.
You as well. Go Niners.
That's it. That's Kevin Rowe of Lerner & Rowe. I can always give him a call at 602-977-1900, 602-977-1900. Well, coming up, we'll go to Las Vegas. We'll catch up with the sports handicapper Scott Spreitzer as he breaks down the conference championship games in the NFL as you're listening to Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910 live from Wright Toyota.
Behold.
Clear.
Here's what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
ASU came up short, falling by 19 to Oregon last night. The Sun Devils dropped to 11-8 overall and 5-3 in the Pac-12. Ninth-ranked Arizona also 5-3 in conference after falling at the buzzer at Oregon State. Grand Canyon improved to 18-2, getting by Stephen F. Austin. Northern Arizona back to 500 as they defeated Idaho. Winners of 7 straight, the Suns look to keep things going as they battle the Pacers in Indiana. Suns have beaten Indiana each of the last 5 times they've met. Kevin Durant becoming the first Suns player named an all-star starter since Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire in 2010. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
The will to win is important, but preparing to win is essential. At Crest Insurance, we understand that the road to success is not one that you go alone. Whether it's your family or business, you're not buying insurance, you're buying protection. That's why so many turn to the professionals at Crest Insurance. Our team has the experience to help you safeguard the things that matter most. It's not just an insurance policy, it's peace of mind.
Arena Sports Grill in Scottsdale on Bell Road is your home for pool, poker, and trivia. And now, the new Huss Brewing Company's Roc and Manuch Lager. Stop by today and experience top sports viewing, off-track betting, and ice-cold Roc and Manuch Lager drafts.
Frankie drives end-to-end, scoops it up and in with 2 seconds left. Frankie Collins end-to-end. Join the action at Desert Financial Arena and catch the final home matchups with Stanford and Cal as Pac-12 conference foes. Collins over to Lance for 3. Bullseye! Get your tickets today by calling 480-965-5812 or go online to sundeviltickets.com. Sun Devil men's basketball. Onward to victory.
Hey, it's Gross. Join me, Bauer, and Jackson every Saturday from 11 to 1 live from the Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona for Take the Points. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar.
At Van's Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, there's something that binds us all, the collective goal to transcend the ordinary. Introducing the new Callaway AI Smoke Driver. AI Design Club has multiple sweet spots across the face, making it an average of 7 yards longer than the prior model. Visit us in store for a free custom fitting at your local Van's Golf Shop or shop us online at worldwidegolf.com. Get there.
Sit back and relax as you listen to the sounds of your carpet. Okay, your carpet doesn't actually make any sounds, at least not until you drop something on it, like a dreaded wine spill. But don't worry, if your carpet is life-proof with pet-proof technology, it can stand up to life's toughest stains. It also stands up to pets. It can even stand up to a third grade.
Scott's good to go.
Life-proof with pet-proof technology, available only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Hello, Phoenix. We have some exciting news. Local high school sports has a new home right here on Fox Sports 910 AM. The Coach B and Eternal radio show can now be heard right here on Fox Sports 910 every Sunday morning at 6:30 a.m. Don't miss it.
DraftKings Sportsbook is bringing you an offer that'll help make the playoffs electrifying. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code SPORTS. New customers can bet just $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code SPORTS. The crown is yours. 21 and over, Arizona only. Gambling problem? 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 160. Eligibility and terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms.
Now back to the Roc and Manuch Show, live from Wright Toyota. Right on the corner, right on the selection, and always right on the price. Wright Toyota, 77th Street and Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale, and online at wrighttoyota.com. Now, sports gamblers, Scott Spreitzer, one of the leaders and most trusted names in the country. Nobody watches and studies games more than he does. From DocSports.com, here's Scott Spreitzer exclusively on with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
You're hot. That's right. You can also reach him at Scott Wins on Twitter. Scott Spreitzer now joining us here on the Wright Toyota guest line. Scotty, it's Manuch alongside Jax. Roc and Jimmy B are off this afternoon. So when you guys are handicapping these two championship games, kind of pull the curtain back a little bit and kind of for our listener, the average Joes out there or the the amateurs, what all goes into that blender to come up with a -4 for the Ravens and a -7 for the 49ers in this game this weekend?
Yeah, when it comes, first of all, the guys behind the counter at the sports books are trying to think where the sharps are going to be, where the public's going to be. And that's, how they landed on the Ravens -3.5 basically to start this line and up to 4 just about everywhere. And then they start adding in injuries. They look to see where the respected money is, which usually you get that respected money, right out of the gate, shortly after the lines are posted and open up. And they'll just kind of tend to go towards that respected money and, tempt to get money on the other side. And that's kind of what they've done with this one. And then, of course, you add in certain things like for the Chiefs, they're going to be missing their best offensive lineman, Tooney, announced in the last, day or so that he's definitely not going to play. And you start adding that kind of stuff into the mix and you come up with where that number is at. Now, they're basically saying these teams are almost dead even on a neutral field. And in the Ravens, you add a little bit for home field advantage, the injury that I mentioned. For me, it goes a little bit deeper. I mean, during the regular season, when it comes to the NFL and the NBA, I am as situational as it gets. All these teams are all-star college football players from top to bottom. And so I started going more situational during the regular season. But once we get into the postseason, it's all about matchups for me, and I think they factor that in a little bit too.
How about with Mark Andrews? Looks like he's officially going to play for the Ravens. Zach Ertz picked up this week by the Detroit Lions. And if Laporta goes down, tag Zach Ertz is it. I don't know who their third-string tight end is or not. Maybe they have a couple tackle eligibles. We'll see. But for those, you talk about injuries, you talk about those coming back or those coming off of having played for 5 or 6 weeks in a Zach Ertz. Does that affect anything in reference to the point spread at all?
I don't think it does because, like, for instance, last week we saw the Ravens playing, without Andrews, and they did quite well. They were fine moving the football in the second half after a sluggish first half against Houston. They made the changes. Looks like they shook off some of the rust from the week off before, and they were able to do their thing. So I don't think that the tight end, unless, again, you get like both your tight ends knocked out of the game, and then, of course, it's too late to make adjustments other than inline betting or live in-game betting, I should say. So I don't think that has a lot to do with that, with this particular line. And again, we've talked about it before. Very, very few players outside of a starting quarterback matter to a line.
He's Scott Sprice. You can reach him on Twitter at ScottWins. Also go to DocSports.com. All right, let's get going with the Chiefs at the Ravens, the first game of the weekend. Last time I looked, I saw it at 3.5. Now it's at -4. Why the extra half point? And then just your thoughts on this game.
Yeah, just some sharp action coming in on Baltimore, a little bit more than KC. And, I jumped on this at 3.5 because I thought it had a chance to get up to 4, and it did. I was sitting with a couple of sharps for lunch, 3 sharps for lunch on Tuesday, and I was shocked because 2 of them had bet KC plus 3.5, and myself and the other guy, they were thinking, boy, this line's going to go up. I would have waited if I was going to bet Kansas City, and it did do so. But the bottom line is I broke this down, and I could talk about this game for 3 hours, but that would be a little bit too long for this segment. So I'm going to start with KC's red zone issues. They've been struggling all season to get the ball in the end zone. We've seen it again in most of the last 2 games. They've had 21 scoring drives in their last 4 games. 14 of those were field goals. Only 7 of those drives ended with Kansas City actually reaching pay dirt. So then the flip side, Baltimore heads into this game with the NFL's second-best defensive red zone success rate, strength versus weakness. KC receivers struggling all year just to catch Patrick Mahomes' passes. That ain't Mahomes' fault. They just got butterfingers. The Ravens come into this number 1 on defense in yards per pass allowed, and they've only given up 21 or more points 4 times this entire season. Again, a big advantage for the Ravens. KC's defense struggles against the run. They did so again last week. I thought Buffalo was crazy to get away from the running game in the fourth quarter, but they did. Baltimore's number 1 in the league on the ground, $156 on the ground per game. And there's a rare instance when Kansas City doesn't have a coaching advantage. These guys are probably even if you broke down both coaching staffs. So you've got like 5 major points. If Baltimore takes care of business, they should win this game, for me, by at least a touchdown. I cringe when I say that because it is Patrick Mahomes on the other side, but the bottom line is I think Baltimore gets the job done.
Yeah, betting against Patrick Mahomes, not an easy thing to do for sports gamblers out there. All right, let's go to the next one, Scott. Lions at 49ers. Now, this line's been pretty steady since the Lions won their game. The 49ers won their game last week. 49ers -7. What are your thoughts about that game?
Yeah, real quick, for Manucci's sake, I'm so tired of hearing about Brock Purdy's a system quarterback. You know what? He makes a couple of bad reads once in a while. He did last week. He was fortunate to not get that pick 6 when the Green Bay defender dropped the ball, but don't they all make a bad read a couple of times a game? And also, I would not, real quick before I get to the game, I would not bet on Purdy to be the MVP in the postseason, and the reason is not even his fault. If the Niners win the Super Bowl, it's going to be, well, he's a system quarterback.
Yes.
Christian McCaffrey, Debo if he's able to play, all these other names, are so popular they come into play, and so they kind of take away from what Purdy potentially could do. And that's why I wouldn't bet on him, just not because of him, but because of all the names around him and this perception that he's a system quarterback in a great system. So anyway, a little pat on the back there for Brock Purdy, Manuch.
I appreciate that. And I'll say this: we got Kevin Rowe, Vernon Rowe is our last guest. We do a pick'em contest. He went to high school with his mom, Carrie Purdy, and he knows that family forever and ever. And we all see this stuff. And as a former quarterback and athletes, whatever, I'm just glad that those folks that know the game, see the game, realize the game, put that out there. And I just kind of stay out of it because I know the bottom line is he ignores the noise. He wants to move it. It's all about winning. That's all he cares about. That's all I care about. And then at the end of the game, we always say, Scotty, you just point to the scoreboard to see who won the game, right?
Absolutely. I absolutely agree. So, by the way, just real quick, Chubba's going to be playing at my kid's school next year, so I'm looking forward to seeing him play a couple of times.
Is she Wolfpack there in Nevada?
She's a sophomore at Reno, so I can't wait to check that out.
Make sure you make yourself introduce yourself to one Chubba Purdy, saying that you've been coming out of Roc and Manuch like the last 55 years, give or take. And it'd be nice to talk to you.
It's amazing because we're both only 45. But anyway, as far as this game is concerned, I look back at the Lions, and each of the last 5 Lions opponents, they've scored at least 4 scoring drives, each of them in those 5 games. And 10 of the last 11 opponents have scored at least 20 points with an average of 26 points per game. And then you check out the pass defense. Detroit's last 5 opposing quarterbacks have completed 66% of their passes, 374 passing yards per game. How about 9.6 yards per pass allowed in those 5 games? I looked at the Minnesota games, which were late in the season. Nick Mullins tore up the Lions defense, 807 yards in 2 games. And how about over 10 yards per pass on average? So again, Brock Purdy might make a tough read or two like everybody else does. I think he has a good game here. I don't think they need Debo to win this game and cover the spread, although it'd be great to have him, obviously. But that mix of what Purdy can do, CMC on the ground, the amount of talent that's on this football team, I think they get the job done. And I was looking at the last couple of games for the Lions. They gave up 147 yards to Evans of Tampa Bay through the air, and Nakua for the Rams, 181 yards receiving. Even Jefferson, if you go back to the last Minnesota game, he had 197 yards receiving. They're having a real tough time with the top receiver. I like Brandon Ayuk, whether Debo plays or not, to go over the total, which it's been anywhere from 74.5 all the way up to 80.5 for his receiving yards. Ayuk over his reception total. And also, I think San Francisco gets that win by a good 10 points.
Hey, real quick, Scott, got about a minute. What are some of the outstanding prop bets a lot of folks are playing?
It's all about CMC, man. Christian McCaffrey going over the total on the ground, through the air, the combination of rushing yardage and receiving yardage. So he's getting a ton of action. I've seen this quite a bit of late. San Francisco over 29.5 team points. That's been coming into play a lot. And then as far as in the other game, a lot of people who like Baltimore are also, believe it or not, betting Lamar Jackson to stay under his amount of passes because they think they're going to be able to run the football not with ease, but well against a Kansas City Chiefs run defense that struggles. So, in my group or my circle, that's what I've seen the most is those 3 or 4 props, especially on Christian McCaffrey.
Scott, I hope you're correct on that Niners-Lions game. Always appreciate your time. At Scott Wins, you can reach one Scott Spreitzer from DocSports.com. Scott, have a great weekend.
Guys, take care. Have a good one.
And just let you know, Scott Spreitzer today is powered by G2G protein bars, now available at Costco. G2G bars are the perfect healthier snack or even meal replacement. While training my quarterbacks, I'm always on the go. G2G bars have been a game changer. Not only are they satisfying, they're also gluten-free with 18 grams of protein, and they taste great. They also have all kinds of delicious flavors, and they're fresh. And now they're available in Costco. Just check the refrigerated section, and you'll see what I mean. Check it out for yourself at G2GBar.com. G2GBar.com. G2G Bar protein bars now at Costco. Well, coming up, it's our Football 50 as we turn to our locks the weekend as well. The locks are next on Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B right here on Fox Sports 910 live from Wright Toyota.
This is The Odd Couple with Chris Broussard and Rob Parker.
Antonio Pierce, he gets the job with the Raiders. You think it's purely financial. My point is, until they get a quarterback, Rob, why go out and get a big-name coach?
It's financial. I mean, I know it sounds good to players. Oh, no, we got to have him.
With Chris Broussard and Rob Parker. Today at 5, tell your smart speaker to play Fox Sports 910.
Hi, I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Recently, Lerner & Rowe was named the second most influential law firm in the United States. Although we have offices in other parts of the country, Glenn and I both live here and raise our families here. We are your local law firm. No other law firm in the state comes close to the experience, reputation, and results as Lerner & Rowe. When you're hurt in a wreck and need a check, call the law firm that can get you the results you need. Call Lerner & Rowe.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Hey, this is Kelly Cooper. Are you ready for the ultimate sports experience? Look no further than BKD's Backyard Joint. At BKD's, we're the destination for the best food, drinks, and sports experience in the Valley. Located at the corner of Pecos and McQueen and Chandler, BKD's Backyard Joint, where every day is game day.
The big one is almost here, and the only place year after year to watch it is in the showroom in Casino, Arizona. The team at Fox Sports 910 will be giving away the cash just for watching the big game. As this year marks our 25th consecutive season hosting the Game of the Year, you can win your share of all the cash prizes, as it's the return of our kickoff jackpot that will be over $3,000. Plus, you receive free $25 squares, along with a chance at winning $100 propositions. Doors open at 3, but space is limited, so it's first come, first serve. And for this year, you'll be able to wager, watch, and win with the new Casino Arizona Sportsbook. Don't be shut out. Just be 21 or older and be present in the showroom at Casino Arizona. This is the only way to watch the big game. Full-service lounges, great game menus, and tons of ways to win cash. It's Fox Sports 910's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.S. Big Game Viewing Party in the showroom at Casino Arizona.
Let the experts at Level 5 Lighting, all-in-one exterior permanent LED lighting, brighten up your world. Take advantage of this month's special offer, 12 months of no-interest financing. For details, go to level5lighting.com to request a free quote. That's level5lighting.com.
2 yards should be just a nice, comfortable 9-iron for him. They're going to go nuts when he hits this thing.
It went in! The People's Open is back. See the PGA Tour's best teed up at the 2024 WM Phoenix Open presented by Taylor Morrison. February 5th through 11th at TPC Scottsdale. Get tournament and ticket info at WMPhoenixOpen.com.
Dukes on Miller and McDowell.
The only place you're going to find 3 10-foot screens with games on full volume in 3 separate rooms, all in the same bar.
Dukes on Miller and McDowell.
With dozens more big screens. You'll find every game you're looking for only at Dukes, because there's only one Dukes. Voted best sports bar by New Times.
Dukes on Miller and McDowell.
Pool tables, shuffleboard tables, darts, karaoke and trivia nights. 3 huge patios on the Greenbelt, all doggy friendly.
Dukes, Miller and McDowell.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Now back to the Roc and Manuch Show, live from Wright Toyota. Right on the corner, right on the selection, and always right on the price. Wright Toyota, 77th Street and Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale, and online at WrightToyota.com.
Let's get ready for football!
It's Football at 50, the latest top football story trending this hour, right here with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910 and the iRadio app.
Football 50 sponsored today by Upper Crust Pizza and Wine Patio in Phoenix. Upper Crust is a family pizza restaurant where you can dine in or take your food to go. Great for holiday catering needs as well, too. A lot of that coming up. Upper Crust Pizza, Patio and Wine Bar, Cave Creek Road, and 101 right there next to the Costco. Full menu. Again, just go to uppercrustwinebar.com. uppercrustwinebar.com. Well, instead of looking at some of the stories in the National Football League, it's our locks of the week, and it's sponsored today by Upper Crust Pizza, Patio and Wine Bar there in Phoenix, right next to the Costco. All right, Jax, I'll let you just take over. Let me hand you the wheel. Make sure that you're in gear over there, seatbelts on.
Good to go.
Let's take a look at last week, and then we'll take a look at this week's, as I said, in a trepidatious way, locks of the week.
All right, so last week myself, Rock, and Shu all got our locks correctly. Me and Shu had -6.5 favor of the Lions over the Bucks. That hit. Rock had Ravens over Texans. They covered. And Manuch, you had the Niners -9.5, and well, they won the game, but they did not cover the spread. So you lost your lock. So to recap from first to last, myself and Rock are in first place at 14-15. Manuch is now at 13-15-2, and Shu 9-7-1 in last place. But the only positive record that we have is Mr. Chris Schubert in the back.
Shu.
Wait a minute. How am I in last place despite being the only one with a winning record in the locks segment? Like, this is the one segment where you have to have a positive record. It's the locks. These are never supposed to lose.
Because you were in a mid-season trade. That's why. We got you in mid-season. We didn't have you the whole year.
I think this is ridiculous because I'm 9-7-1. I have not missed a single lock underdog in the playoffs. Not a single one. I'm 4 for 4 across the board. Going to be 6 for 6 after this weekend.
Shu, pardon the pun. We handicap how many games you play. Pardon the pun. Couldn't resist that one there too. So you have a chance. Don't worry about it. All right. So I'm going to go pretty much my lock this week.
Wow.
Shots. No way.
The Niners.
No.
Wait.
Wow.
We got to set this up. Chris,
hold on.
You got to set this up.
Go ahead, Manuch. What do you got for us?
-7. I'm going to take that. I think that the Niners win this game. They knocked the rust off. They got the WD-40 out. They're lubed up. They're ready to go. That 3-week layoff hurt them more than helped them.
Lubed up.
Lubed up. The WD-40 or there was this called gunk.
Just make the pick. Yeah, just make the pick and move on, Jack. We don't need to go down that road.
I can describe what gunk is in WD-40, but the spokes, the screws, they're hitting on all cylinders. Over the Lions, I'm taking the Niners as my lock -7.
Wow, I'm shocked. Rock is going with the Ravens over the Chiefs, the -4 there. For me, I'm going to go props route. Like we talked about with Scott Spreitzer, he's a traditional guy. He loves the spreads and the totals and stuff like that. I'm a young, dumb kid. I'm going to go with the props. Give me a little parlay. Lamar Jackson plus Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown. You put those two together, plus 110, you put $10 down, you're winning yourself another $15. So I like that as my lock of the weekend.
All right, Shu.
I've shared this with you guys before. I love it when we have Scott Spreitzer on in the segment directly before we have to make our picks because I know going into that segment who I want to select for this pick. And Scott can sometimes talk me out of it. If he's so excited about one side and it's opposite of the team I want to have, then it allows me to reconsider. But for the second straight week, Scott has been in lockstep with the selection that I want to make. So I am going to just full speed ahead, pedal to the metal. Give me the Ravens against the Chiefs. I agree with Scott. I don't think this game is going to be particularly close. I know the spread's up to 4.5. I think the Ravens win by a touchdown. They have been the better team all year. They have been the better team in the playoffs. They're at home. They're playing well. It's not like they're just finding new ways to survive and move on. They are playing like the true 1 seed that they are. And you go back, guys, to that game against San Francisco. Since then, this team has been firing on all cylinders. I am taking the Baltimore Ravens minus the 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5. You name the number. I will take the Ravens to win the football game.
He also took the San Francisco 49ers. He also had them. He took the points for that as well. I mean, he just said, hey, look, I got Niners all over this. Felt that like me, a little bias there, but they were going to win by more than 7.
Did Shu accidentally leak why he's doing so well? Because he said he basically copies Scott Spreitzer.
No,
he does every week.
Best winning percentage based on what Scott Spreitzer says. I went off the cuff. You went off the cuff.
Sure.
Obviously, Brock Purdy, you're going to go there. But Shu always copies Spreitzer in the playoffs.
What's up with that, Shu?
Not true. I want to defend myself. I say going into that segment, and specifically the last couple of weeks, we haven't had that many games to pick from.
Okay.
So when he talks about a game, I already have a side picked.
Why do you always put your pick in the lineup right after his segment?
Yeah,
that's not true.
Caveats.
That is 100% not true. There have been weeks where my pick has been in there on Tuesday because I've liked the game so strongly.
That's when you struggled.
Okay, whatever you say, Shu. All right, that's all right. Hey,
listen, the scoreboard says I'm in first place. Okay, I don't care. You can mock me all you want. I'm in first place.
Before we get out of here, a little football 50, Colorado. That's right. Coach Prime self-reports several NCAA violations during Deion Sanders' first season. They say minor infractions, Shu. What might be some of those infractions? Too many alumni at a hosted event
Yeah,
But portal players.
Most of these are dealing with social media, as those know. Deion Sanders and his son actually runs his social media during the season. But some of the infractions include Sanders featuring a potential recruit in an Instagram live video mid-May. That recruit, Aaron Butler, would later flip and go to
3
Texas.
minutes.
There's one of a potential recruit. Now, they're allowed to be in the locker room if they're on an unofficial visit. But I think it's after the game. Actually, we take that back. Official visit, you're allowed to be in the locker room after the game. Unofficial, though, you're not allowed to be in the locker room, and a potential recruit was inside the locker room during a pregame speech. Another one is a photo being posted about Colorado's recruiting targets on their social media. So little infractions, but could play in potential to where they're recruiting and who they get and stuff. So they did it on their own. They self-imposed it just like ASU did with the bowl ban.
Oh, and by Michigan self-imposed too now for those that first 3-game suspension, and that second game 4-game suspension. So you know what? I see some of this. Don't you think, guys, with the NIL, it's all fair and love and war at this point in time when you're offering guys this and that? And I mean, just open up the recruiting. Just you pretty much, hey, here's who we had in, who we didn't.
2 minutes.
Because you're seeing so many infractions during the dead period. And then during that dead period, folks, the only way the coaches can contact you is via the text. And Jack's just talked about official and unofficial visits. That's all in there. But I think at this point, I think when they develop these super conferences within the next 5 years, it's pretty much, okay, hey, look, if you guys are going to have people in or there, just have your quality control guys. Here's the rules and guidelines. If you've got all that, just set it up and make it from there. It's like free agency anyway.
They need a college football commissioner. Kirk Herbstreit's been preaching about it. Joe Klatt's been preaching about it. And I know there's one person that just retired that wants to get into television, but his opinion in college football universally is respected. A guy like Nick Saban needs to take charge, put college football in the right direction, because this NIL and with the NCAA, they're always 5 years later than everything. This NIL and transfer portal, if it keeps going the rate it's at right now, it's going to hurt college football.
Well, it already has hurt. I mean, just guys are coming and going, and it's just very difficult for a coaching staff as, okay, who do we need to keep? How much money is for them to keep that individual?
It's a good segue, Manuch. I know where you're going.
Oh,
with
yeah.
this. It's a good segue.
You felt me on that in reference to where do we go? If I just come in, who do I keep? Who do I go after? All the recruits that are making all that happen. And the reason why I say that, we're going to catch up with the new head football coach, Brett Brennan, who will talk about all the things that they've got going on down there at U of A. And he has definitely hit the ground running. Also, we'll catch up with the voice of the San Francisco 49ers, Greg Papa, and get his thoughts on them hosting the Lions.
20.
As you listen to Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B. We're live out here from Wright Toyota on Fox Sports 910. And now, 99.9 FM and HD3. Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B. Wright Toyota on Friday afternoon. It's Football Friday.
Clear.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B has been sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing.
Sorry, Jax, I didn't know what you were looking for there.
Sunday, February 11th in the showroom in Casino, Arizona. Win cash just for watching the big game, as this year marks Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.S. the 25th consecutive season. Doors open at 3. First come, first served. Just be 21 or older. It's the big game viewing party with tons of cash and giveaways. See you February 11th at Casino, Arizona.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Get wings the way you want them. Try Twin Peaks wings, bone and breaded, naked, smoked and grilled, or boneless in your favorite sauce or rub.
DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL playoffs, is bringing you an offer that'll help make the playoffs electrifying. New customers can bet $5 on any game and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Plus, everyone gets a no-sweat same-game parlay for every playoff game day. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code 910. New customers can bet just $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code 910. The crown is yours. 21 plus, Arizona only. Gambling problem, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Opt-in required. One no-sweat token issued per eligible day after opt-in. No-sweat bonus bet issued based on amount of losing qualifying bet. Eligibility, max reward limits, and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms.
Hello, Phoenix. We have some exciting news. Local high school sports has a new home right here on Fox Sports 910 AM. The Coach B and Eternal radio show can now be heard right here on Fox Sports 910 every Sunday morning at 6:30 a.m. Don't miss it.
When you use Bounce dryer sheets and your clothes look amazing, it's the sheets. Less static in your life? Yeah, it's the sheets. Smelling fresher than ever? It's the sheet. Oh, so soft fabric? Ooh la la. It's the sheet. Less wrinkles on your clothes? You know it's the sheet. Bounce dryer sheets. More freshness, more softness. Less static, less wrinkles. It's the sheet.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd, Monday from 10 to 1. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD3 Phoenix. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports talk, podcasts, and music. Free never sounded so good.
The Suns continue their 7-game road trip today against the Pacers. It's the second game of the trip following Wednesday's win over the Mavericks. They're looking for an 8th straight win. Kevin Durant named a starter for this year's NBA All-Star game. The selection is the 14th of his career. Last night at college hoops, ASU lost on the road against Oregon. They dropped to 5-3 in the Pac-12. Arizona was stunned by Oregon State.
We'll do nothing yet.
Loss in Corvallis. The Sun Devils and Wildcats flip opponents tomorrow. ASU is at Oregon State, and U of A will call on Oregon. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910. Available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website.
Bonus.
That's
bonus.
Enter it now. FoxSports910.com.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For your Friday night, look for clear skies out there. Temperatures dipping down into those mid to upper 40s. And then for your weekend, things looking fantastic. Plenty of sunshine for Saturday. Look for 73 degrees and 74 for your Sunday. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. During MVP's bonus days at Lowe's, save $250 when you buy a DeWalt 12-inch sliding miter saw and adjustable stand together. Because Lowe's knows savings, Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
Now back to the Roc and Manuch Show, live from Wright Toyota. Right on the corner, right on the selection, and always right on the price. Wright Toyota, 77th Street and Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale, and online at WrightToyota.com. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B is sponsored by On Air Sports.
He's there, boys. You hear me?
Yes, I got it.
He's there.
Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900 and always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
Hour number 3 of Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B out here at Wright Toyota. Dan Manucci alongside Jackson Groff. We've got Chris Schubert manning the controls, and as promised, we finally tracked him down, the new head coach of the University of Arizona Wildcats, Brett Brennan, now joining us finally here on the Wright Toyota guest line. Coach, it's Manuch alongside Jax. I can only imagine how busy and hectic it is, but we truly appreciate you taking a few minutes to join us here with Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B. How are you? How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's great to be on with you guys. Let's go.
I got to tell you what, the Phoenix market, man, the U of A Wildcat alumnus up here, and they're all excited for you down there. And my first question is, okay, you hit the ground running. You're at San Jose State. You get picked. You're the head coach at U of A. Do you not sleep for a week straight trying to get everything settled in? You get your staff going. You got recruiting going. You're trying to prevent guys from leaving. How has that been the last week and a half?
Yeah, to say the least, it's been hectic, but it's been great. It's been this whirlwind of, kind of great emotional moments, fun stuff, some hard stuff saying goodbye to my previous team in San Jose, but it's all part of the process in the business. So I'm excited. I'm having a great time, and I love being at the U of A. So I'm ready to get after it.
A lot of folks don't realize you were there. We'll go way back to 2000. And as a GA, I believe, was that under Coach Tomey when you were the GA back then in 2000?
Yeah, that's correct. I was here with Coach Tomey.
And the one thing, when I look at all your stops that you had, and you've done great where you have, especially at San Jose State, and Coach Tomey was there for a while too. What kind of a philosophy or a way of life as far as a football coach is that you bring back to U of A via the late great Dick Tomey?
Well, I think the biggest thing is Coach Tomey just started with caring about his players, and that was universal. And, I'm definitely built that way, and so are the other coaches that we're putting together here on the staff. And we're going to start with that, right? The football is the football, but at the end of the day, we also have a huge responsibility to the young men that are a part of our program to treat them the right way and help them grow and mature and develop, off the field as well. And so I'm committed to all those things. And Coach Tomey was such a big part of that with all of his players. And I think that's why those teams always played so hard, because they were so committed. They're committed to each other, and they're committed to the coaching staff.
Coach, looking at some of your press conferences and hearing from other coaches, they say the biggest thing that you preach is establishing relationships. I'm terrible with names personally, but how have you been able to develop a skill to adapt and relate to some of these players and staff every place that you've gone? And then my second question for you, how is it, getting to know the current players on your roster?
Yeah, I would say I'm answering the same question at the same time. Both questions, to me, it's all about spending, time with people, face to face. And especially for the young people that we're working with now, so much of their life is digital communication. I don't work that way, right? So I've had players in and out of my office every day, sitting down, just chopping it up, getting to know each other. That was it. That's how we started initially, was when I first got here is, I just had a couple days where I had, big chunks of the kind of the leadership on the team. And I just gave them a chance to ask questions about me. And I told them about, how I coach and what I believe in and what will be some of the things that we're going to do as a team. And, I was showing them videos of my son playing high school basketball. It's just like, how do we get to know each other on a level that's deeper than what we did when we started?
He's U of A head football coach Brett Brennan joining us here on the Right to Guest line. And, Coach, also to that fact, you come in, players that you were recruiting at San Jose State, now you moved to U of A, players are being recruited by Jed Fish. I mean, it seems like it could be a kind of a vicious circle. How do you calm that down, and how do you manage those individuals that want to leave or stay, or guys you're recruiting at San Jose State and maybe blending them in with U of A? How does that animal work per se?
First of all, I give Jed Fish and his staff a ton of credit, right? They had a fantastic season. They've done a great job building this program to where it is right now. And so I give those guys a lot of credit. And so when you go through the recruiting process, normally you're looking at a, 12, 18, 24-month process to recruit one player, right? So obviously some of the players that were recruited by Coach Fish and his staff have deep relationships with that staff. And for them, they're like, well, that might be a better fit for me to go to Washington. Other people are really, really committed to the guys on the team here, right? And so that part of it is what's keeping them here. Is it's so much about them, right? And those player-led teams are always the best football teams and the best football programs to be a part of. Is when the players are really pushing the culture and pushing the day-to-day accountability, and that's what these players are doing here. And so, in terms of who goes where, that's happening everywhere in college football. Sure. And so, how do you manage it? We just try and do the best we can with what's right here in front of us right now. And that's me worrying about the Arizona football team.
And I think for a lot of alumnus that are out there, I know quite a few of them that played football. They are very a sigh of relief to see Fafita and McMillan staying and supporting you and buying in to your mantra, so to speak. That had to be I would say, a big sigh of relief for you and your staff.
Well, absolutely. But I think it was a big moment for the football team, right? Because collectively, obviously, those two are really important. But also that day, we also had 3 defensive backs, put out a video and a big statement that they're returning. And then the next day, great linebacker, Roc and Manuch, did the same thing. And so all of a sudden, those guys started to feel that momentum and that camaraderie, that the brotherhood that they had was still intact. And it was still worthy of staying here and fighting for and getting ready for another season together. And that's what I saw when that, with that moment of those, that weekend coming together with just the incredible response in McHale Center. Oh my goodness, that was an incredible moment. I will never forget that the rest of my life.
So cool to see those guys courtside announce that in front of everybody, Coach. But my question to you came out yesterday by Pete Thamel, confirmed that you guys are hiring Dino Babers as your new offensive coordinator. You guys obviously go back to your Syracuse days. Talk about Dino as a person, your guys' relationship, and what led you to this hire.
It's a good hire, Coach. Damn good hire.
Well, all the pieces of the staff are not yet put together. You know what I mean? And so we're still talking to those couple people, and some of those things are not exactly done all the way yet. And so, when those things are official, I'll be able to talk about it more in depth.
Gotcha.
But I am excited about the coaches that we're bringing to the table. And I am excited about who we're going to surround this football team with. We're going to have great leadership. We're going to have great offensive, defensive, and special team minds. And then like I said, we're going to start with, one of those original things that I learned long ago from Coach Tomey and Dwayne Aquina and Rich Ellerson and Dino Babers and Rob Einella when I was here. And it starts with caring about the young men in your room and let that love and care for those guys push out into the relationships across the team.
And Coach, not that I want to look ahead, but hey, spring football is right around the corner. And I know with recruiting, the next signing day period's February 7th. You got to take care of that business. So I know a lot of guys already in the weight room. They're working hard. What's the schedule moving forward until spring ball starts?
Well, our guys hit the ground running on Monday. With our, the start of our off-season training program. We're really excited about Colin Carroll, who came with us from San Jose State. He's an outstanding strength and conditioning coach, and he's putting together a really dynamic staff. And so our players have already been getting a sense of what that's going to feel like and how that's going to be similar or different to what they're used to. But I have an incredible amount of belief with him, and the players are loving the work. And in some ways, for the players, I think it's almost cathartic for them to get back to work, right?
Sure.
You kind of went through this crazy upheaval. Now all of a sudden we're starting to move back in the direction of football and training and preparation and what they're excited about being here doing. So that started on Monday, and we're off to a great start.
Coach, for U of A fans that aren't familiar with your style and what you will bring to this Arizona football program, how would you describe your coaching style, and what can Wildcats fan anticipate when you start coaching and have that first game in September?
I have a blast on game day. I enjoy being a part of it and coaching. And so you'll see a guy that coaches with a ton of enthusiasm, a ton of energy. That's just how I'm built. And, that's who I am actually, I would say almost all the time, but certainly on game day and in the practice environment. I feel like it's, my responsibility as the head football coach to be giving kind of that energy and that excitement to the players and reflect that with them. And so, as much as I can be there for them emotionally in those moments, that's where I want to be.
Coach, I got to ask you, watching the old tapes of Coach Tomey grabbing, one of the staff members or somebody around your neck and that little head slap off to the side, is that like one of the WWE moves from yesteryear? And does it kind of bring you back to your senses? It's an endearing head slap, right, Coach?
It absolutely, from Coach Tomey, it was an endearing head slap, but I remember because he spoke to my team. And we were going through a really tough year at San Jose. He came to town to watch a game, and he spoke to my team the day before, and he talked about the team. And then he got that young man up, and he was talking to him, and he's talking about, giving a guy a hug and having a meaningful embrace between two men. And it was like this real powerful moment. And he kind of did that head slap, and the whole team just fell apart laughing. But the good news was that the next day we played great, and we got a win against UNLV.
Gotta love it, Coach. Hey, thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're extremely busy. We really appreciate you taking the time and hope to have you on more and more. So from all the alumnus that I'm aware of down here, and I know a lot of them, they say, hey, best of luck to you, and I'm sure they want to interact with you when they get down there as well. But thank you so much for taking the time.
It's great coming on with you guys. You guys take care. Bear down.
You bet. That's head coach, U of A Wildcats, Brett Brennan. Got the energy that he's going to need.
I could feel the enthusiasm and energy when he said, let's go, to start the interview. I think they got a great hire. You mentioned it too, but Fafita McMillan staying there. Huge for
Real
this
quick.
team. Huge momentum coming here.
Listen, I'm the producer here of this show, so it's my job to worry about the technical stuff, and so I'm going to heap even more praise on Coach. That is the cleanest phone line I think I've ever had with any of our guests ever in the history of the show. So, Coach, fantastic work there.
Great reception in Tucson.
Hallelujah. And that might have been from a landline as well. Hey, our top headlines are brought to you this hour by Big Game Viewing Party. So make plans now to join us for the Big Game Viewing Party Sunday, February 11th in the showroom at Casino Arizona with games and cash giveaways to really level up the fun and have a great time. So win your share of the cash just for watching the game. As if football frenzy isn't enough, we're sweetening the deal with exciting giveaways. Each attendee will be issued free squares to win money after every quarter based on the score of the game. Plus, we'll have a kickoff jackpot, propositions, and jersey giveaways. The jackpot starts at over $3,000. It's our 25th year of partnering with Casino Arizona. Free admission with your Salt River Rewards card. Doors open at 3 o'clock. Highly recommend that you get there early. Hey, also, you can bet the game while you watch the game. The Sportsbook in Casino Arizona, they have 3 live betting windows and 6 self-service betting kiosks, plus 8 screens displaying all the betting lines. Check it out for yourself. Open daily from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Well, the 49ers dodged a big bullet and beat the Packers last-minute drive led by quarterback Brock Purdy. So what must they do next to come out and show the offense they had during the year? 49ers play-by-play voice Greg Papa explains it all next on Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, right here on Fox Sports 910 now on 99.9 FM, HD3.
Monday on the drive, after months of terrible quarterback play and bummer primetime games, we finally have a Super Bowl preview. Who will battle it out in Super Bowl 58? We will break it down at 6:05 on the drive, Fox Sports 910, and your free iHeartRadio app.
Valley traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
Lots of traffic eastbound 10 from 83rd Avenue over to 16th Street. Same thing westbound 17. Brake lights from I-10 at the split over to Jefferson. And a wreck in Scottsdale, 101 northbound near Frank Lloyd Wright, blocking the right lane.
This report is sponsored by Brake Masters.
Navigating through traffic is like walking between raindrops. It's a jungle out there, so don't forget to get your vehicle in BrakeMaster shape. Just download coupons and schedule an appointment with your smartphone.
Brake Masters. We give you an honest break.
Rock for RightToyota.com. At Right Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on RightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at RightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at RightToyota.com.
Arizona's largest locally owned A-plus BBB rated towing company is All City Towing. They're always looking to add motivated and competitive team members. Do you fit the bill? If so, head on over to allcitytowing.com/careers for more information.
Get ready for double the fun on the 101. Introducing the Salt River Rewards program at Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort, the Valley's newest and best. With multiple tiers and endless benefits, we've got something for everyone. Don't miss out on the excitement. Salt River Rewards, the Valley's premier player rewards program, now at Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort. 2 properties, 1 amazing club, offering limitless fun on the 101. Discover the best in the Valley at saltriverrewards.com.
Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. There's something that binds us all, the collective goal to transcend the ordinary. Introducing the new Callaway AI Spoke Driver. The new AI Design Club has multiple sweet spots across the face, making it an average of 7 yards longer than the prior model. Visit us in store for a free custom fitting at your local Vans Golf Shops or shop us online at worldwidegolf.com. Get there.
Arena Sports Grill in Scottsdale on Bell Road is your home for pool, poker, and trivia. And now, the new Huss Brewing Company's Roc and Manuch Lager. Stop by today and experience top sports viewing, off-track betting, and ice-cold Roc and Manuch Lager drafts.
Frankie drives end-to-end, scoops it up and in with 2 seconds left. Frankie Collins end-to-end.
Join the action at Desert Financial Arena and catch the final home matchups with Stanford
and Cal as Pac-12 Conference foes. Collins over to Lance for three. Bullseye! Get your tickets today by calling 480-965-5812 or go online to sundeviltickets.com. Sun Devil men's basketball. Onward to victory.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter will be candidate within. Try ZipRecruiter at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
He's there. The Suns' Kevin Durant named a starter for the All-Star game, the selection the 14th of his career. The Suns play the Pacers today. College ball, ASU lost at Oregon. Arizona was upset by Oregon State. GCU beats Stephen F. Austin. The 49ers battle the Lions in the NFC title game Sunday. San Francisco's third consecutive championship game appearance. It's the Lions' second ever. DraftKings line favors the Niners by 7.5. I'm Frank Aaron.
This is Katina Moody. This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
The versatile EQB to the sublime EQS sedan, Mercedes-Benz makes electric extraordinary. The vehicles are all electric. The feeling is all Mercedes. The choice is all yours. Learn more at MBUSA.com/EQ.
I'm going to bring you back completely clean just with music so you can get right into it, okay?
From Right Toyota, right on the...
So no highlight because
right
you only have about 8 minutes. I want you to jump right in.
Right on the price. Right Toyota, 77th Street and Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale. And online at righttoyota.com.
You're hot.
Let's get right to it. Out to San Francisco and catch up with the voice, the play-by-play voice of the San Francisco 49ers, Greg Papa, now joining us here on the Right Toyota guest line. Greg, it's Manuch alongside with Jax, who's filling in for Rock this afternoon. Hey, look, I didn't breathe until that interception at the very end of the game, so I can finally breathe. But let's look back at the beginning of the game. Was this team, was the layoff too much for this San Francisco 49ers team initially, you think?
Yeah, I think in retrospect they were a little rusty. But it was mainly the rain, I think, that threw them off. And your guy Brock, and, you know, you and I talked throughout the area, that bad game in Cleveland when he had a hard time gripping it and ripping it on the shores of Lake Erie that day with the wind and the rain. And he put a glove on in the warm-up, and he didn't use the glove at all. You may know more, Manuch, but I think it was he watched Jordan Love miss that first swing screen to Aaron Jones out in the right flat. And Jordan Love's got big hands, and I think Brock thought, if he can't grip it, how am I? And he was warming up before the game in the rain, and he put the glove on, and it just didn't work. He almost threw a pick right away to Darnell Savage on the second snap of the game, and then he took the glove off, and he couldn't control the ball. The ball was coming nose down right into the ground, and I checked down to McCaffrey, and he was apprehensive in the pocket. He wasn't up on his toes, anticipating throws like he always does. He didn't play great, but when it was time to win the game,
yes,
he turned into Joe Montana. He went 6 for 7 on the last drive, and they moved the pocket going left right away to hit Juwan Jennings. He would have been 7 for 7. George Kittle dropped one right in the 8 in the 85, and he was able to make big throws in the run at the end. So I think it was more the rain, a little bit of rust. I got to give Joe Barry credit, their coordinator in Green Bay. He got fired this week. I thought they stole a lot of the Baltimore game plan from Christmas night when they sat on landmarks. You know, Brock's a spot thrower. Our offense is based on getting the landmarks, and they knew where to go. So it was a lot of things. But in the end, they won the game. And it's not going to rain on Sunday, and let's go.
And amen, amen. My wife and I finally were able to breathe. You know, the other thing, too, I don't know, this might be a little overlooked. For Brock not to put the tight end in motion, it was supposed to come in motion on the McCaffrey touchdown run.
Charlie Warner.
Yeah, he said,
Right.
stay. I went, Brock, that's brilliant. He saw the clock running down. He snapped it right at 0, pitch it to him. I mean, sometimes those little things about a quarterback are overlooked. So I just hope he got enough credit from the national press to see something like that.
Without a doubt. It was a call called 18 Mike, and Kyle called that on his openers to start the second half. He, like Coach Walsh had the 15-play script, Kyle has 24 on his opening script, 12 runs, 12 passes, then he rescripts it at halftime. And that they didn't get to it right away because there was a 3 and out in the first series, but they got to 18 Mike. And on that action, Charlie Warner either could move in motion across from right to left as a wing just to the side of McKivitz, the right tackler, Trent, and Brock full command of the offense, told him to stay right where he is because they were going to run. It wasn't going to be 19 Mike. It was going to be 18 Mike going to the right, and a great blocking, and McCaffrey got to the second level and made Darnell savage. That's what quarterbacking play, Manuch. And you played the position, and Joe Ferguson, if you just turn and hand off to OJ every time,
Sure.
A lot of times, the quarterback tells you where the run is going to go. That's what the brilliant of Peyton Manning was, and Tom Brady. And they give. We don't have a kill system in this offense. Kyle has a can system, but a can is to go from the first play call to the second, or an Oscar play call, which is to flip. Usually, it's a run from one side to the other. But that was Brock being alert. Charlie Warner, stay. We're running 18 Mike, and it's coming your way.
Greg Papa, the voice of the 49ers, joins us here on the right Toyota guest line. And it came out during this week in a presser. Kyle Shanahan was asked about Juwan Jennings and his blocking ability. There was a video against the Packers where he blocked that defender all the way to the water.
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan says he does that in practice and that there was fights going on in practice. You being someone that watches these practices, what's Juwan Jennings like behind closed doors, and what's he like at practice, seeing him block 100%?
He's a madman. He's a madman. So you see their wide receiver out there, St. Brown for Detroit. He's a great player. What a route runner. He dyed his hair Honolulu blue when they made the playoffs. Juwan Jennings has had fire hydrant red, fire truck red, whatever it is, 49er hair forever. And the guy plays like his hair's on fire.
Yeah.
He's insane. So he's a great blocker. And that one was on, right before the McCaffrey touchdown run, the 18 Mike 39-yard run. The play before that was the 32-yarder to Kittle. And he took their corner, Ballantyne, and put him over in the Gatorade cooler. And I was actually in the office yesterday when the NFL Network, Andrew Brandt from Good Morning Football has the angry runs. And they gave Juwan Jennings the scepter and the T-shirt for an angry run. And I was there when they opened the FedEx box, and he's going, how can they give me an angry run when I didn't run the ball on that play? So, no, but he's so instrumental in the run game. And there's a motto around here. Leonard Hankerson, the 49er wide receiver coach, has the motto, and Kyle has it too. No block, no rock. You don't block as a wide receiver, we're not throwing you the ball. And they actually have a hard hat where they give out a hard hat, and they have each guy sign it every time. And it used to be they had to have a pancake block where they actually block a guy to the ground. Now, how many wide receivers are getting pancakes?
Yes.
So if you block a guy all the way to the Gatorade cooler, you should get a hard hat signature for that. So I think Jennings has the lead with 8 signatures on Hank's hard hat. But I'll tell you, Brandon Ayuk is right behind. I think it's 8-7 going into the championship game.
Well, Greg, we appreciate the time. We know you're expecting of Ayuk. We know you got an interview with him coming up. We appreciate the time. Please tell Brock that we said hi. Best of luck.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
What do you think, Dan? What do you think? Anything he's got to do in this game?
I think
he's got to do that he didn't do last game?
Just stay the course, take care of the ball, and trust your eyes. Trust your eyes. Let it rip, like we saw midseason form.
Right.
And I think that I think this team, I really hope, is just got to be focused all the way through, which he is, and hopefully Debo will suit up. But if not, Brock's the kind of guy that says, "Hey, look, I got to play at the hand I'm dealt." He's just like a great poker player, like you saw in that last drive. And but just tell him we love him, best of luck to him, and like I always say, Greg, tell him no slack in the Cadillac, and let's go get it done.
And I tell him, grip it and rip it. No rain, no glove. He'll be able to grip that ball and rip it on Sunday. I'll see you guys in Vegas.
All right, but that's Greg Papa, the play-by-play voice of your San Francisco 49ers. Had to get him a little bit early because he's got to go do Ayuk, the same call that they have. And then he's fired up.
Is he never not fired up? Like every time we talk to him, or every time I see other interviews and stuff like that, he's always at 100%.
He's a Buffalo kid. He's always fired up, and he's fired up to be announcing for the San Francisco 49ers. Hey, coming up, we'll take a deep dive into both the NFC and AFC championship games, the game, the matchups, players to watch, and the weather. That's next on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, live from Wright Toyota.
This is what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
Suns searching for an 8th consecutive win as they take on the Pacers in Indiana. This is a Pacers team that will not again have the injured Tyrese Halliburton. The Yotes back on the ice tomorrow when they call on the Hurricanes. Conference championship weekend in the NFL Sunday. The Chiefs visit the Ravens first. Ravens tight end Mark Andrews has been activated off IR. He will play. That'll be followed by the 49ers hosting the Lions. Former Cardinals coach Cliff Kingsbury interviewed today for the offensive coordinator job of the Raiders. Jannik Sinner defeated Novak Djokovic to advance to the Australian Open final, where he will meet Daniil Medvedev. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For your Friday night, look for clear skies out there. Temperatures dipping down into those mid to upper 40s. And then for your weekend, things looking fantastic. Plenty of sunshine for Saturday. Look for 73 degrees and 74 for your Sunday. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Get the appliances you need right away at Lowe's. Explore the largest assortment of brands you trust in-store or online at the best values. Plus, take advantage of their everyday financing offers. Lowe's knows home improvement, subject to credit approval.
Hey, sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado features a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. It's why they won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant in all 7 Barrio Queen locations. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of game day.
Got the urge to pick games each week? Thursday, Sunday, even Mondays? Then sign up now for the Twin Peaks Fan Pick'em, courtesy of Blue Moon and Coors Light. It's totally free to play. Head to fanpick'em.com. That's fanpick'em.com.
You hear it all the time. Lawyers talk about all their experience, many years of experience with insurance companies, and experience in the courtroom. But what they're not talking about is their results. Maybe they don't have any. At Lerner & Rowe, we're proud of our results because that's how we measure our success. We've helped over 150,000 people recover billions of dollars for their injuries, with over $1 billion just in the last 5 years alone. When you want results, call Lerner & Rowe.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
In the fast lane of life, your fuel should keep up. Time to check out G2G protein bars, your ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether it's a workday, gym session, or navigating daily chaos, G2G has got you covered. Find them now at your local Costco in the refrigerated section, or explore all 8 fantastic flavors at G2G.bar.com. Great tasting and packed with protein. So keep pace with life in the fast lane with G2G protein bars.
Wright Toyota, the #1 volume Toyota dealer in the state of Arizona, ensures you a buying experience that will exceed all your expectations. Check it out for yourself. Located just off the 101 on Franklin Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale and online at wrighttoyota.com.
When it comes to insurance,
100%.
We focus on the competition. We focus on our customers. At Crest Insurance Group, customer service is not what we do.
Oh, so good. He started answering, and I'm like, oh my God.
Businesses and families are.
You can just tell the difference, you know?
To help provide them with the
That's why I wish we could. I think I could figure it out, but how to get people on like Zoom or Skype.
And our clients benefit from our vision, experience, and outstanding service. Contact Crest and let our insurance professionals tell you what they.
Like I know if they call in on this computer, I can pot it up via the internet. That's how I play all the sound.
Education doesn't just take place in the classroom. There are many ways children of all ages can learn about sustainability and the environment at home. Visit iHeartRadio.com/earth for a list of resources, activities.
No, Nick's moving his stuff out of the office.
That are educational and fun for the whole
Come
family.
on, you give the head football coach.
By iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living, or
So my fantasy baseball draft still going
go
on?
to iHeartRadio.com/earth.
We're into our free agency phase.
It has a plan to get your tax refund.
And I'm nervous. I don't think I'm going to put together a good squad.
Here a buck, there a buck, everywhere a buck.
You don't have to wait weeks for your tax refund. Get money sooner with an
you do.
advance loan at Jackson.
Fun.
On this loan, there's a money today.
Just wait till baseball season starts. You guys will come back to me. I'll be like, I'm watching Twins Astros back here.
Jackson Hewitt today. No fee refund advance loans by Republic Bank offered to eligible clients. Money today guarantee if approved for a loan.
I'm so excited for baseball season this year.
DraftKings Sportsbook is bringing you an offer that'll help make the playoffs.
Manuch, I don't want to say that. That's just, you know how hard that is, man.
And use code
Do I think they get back into the dance? Yes, I think they're in a position to be in the mix.
200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code SPORTS. The crown is yours. 21 and over. Arizona only. Gambling problem?
Just get into the dance. You never know what might happen.
160.
That's what all of my team does this year.
Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/football.
Just get in the dance.
To the Roc and Manuch Show, live from Wright Toyota, right on the corner, right on the selection, and always right on the price. Wright Toyota, 77th Street and Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale, and online at wrighttoyota.com.
Second down, launched, wide open! Kelsey has the touchdown!
You're hot.
Travis Kelce with the touchdown pass from Patrick Mahomes. Thank you to CBS. Take a little bit of a deep dive into these championship games out here. Dan Manuch alongside Jackson Groff. Got Chris Schubert manning the controls as we are out here live at Wright Toyota. Before we get there, though, let's get to our State 48 Roofing It's Your Call question of the day for a free quote, repair, or installation. Head to state48roofing.com at state48roofing.com and follow them on social media by searching hashtag #SexyRoofStatus. So who are you picking to be in Super Bowl 58? Are you going to go 49ers Chiefs, Lions Chiefs, or 49ers Ravens, Lions Ravens? So Jax, which way they leaning?
Yeah, so you can vote at Roc and Manuch on Twitter. Right now we are at dead even tie. 37.5% with the 49ers Ravens and the Lions Ravens. So go on and vote right now. Break that tie. In third place, we've got 49ers Chiefs at 20.8% and at 4.2% the Lions Chiefs. So most are thinking the Ravens are going to make it, but they're 50-50 on the 49ers and the Lions.
Yes, it's interesting. You look at both these teams, and here comes the Detroit Lions team into San Francisco that's hitting on all cylinders, and we saw a very sluggish San Francisco 49ers team. I think the layoff hurt them. It just depends. Some teams, they enjoy that break, but for this 49ers team, they just looked a little out of sorts, a little lethargic. I think they finally kind of kicked it into gear. Not to take anything away from the Packers and their defense whatsoever. I just think that sometimes those long layoffs, if you haven't played 3 weeks, tends to hurt you. But now I look at the 49ers. They've knocked the rust off. Some might say they're lucky to survive, but Brock put that last drive together. Defense came up with a big play. Sometimes you just take a deep breath and go, wow. It kind of sometimes reminds me when we see the NCAAs, like the number 1 or number 2 seeds, how they struggle. That first game, like that Thursday game, they tend to go, okay, we won. Now we can relax and go play our game. That's what I see with the San Francisco 49ers against this very tough Detroit Lions team.
Yeah, and then speaking of the Lions, they've got a really good defense, and I think a matchup to look out for is going to be Aiden Hutchinson versus Trent Williams. I'm interested to see how they use Hutchinson. Is he going to be a line on Trent Williams' side, or are they going to have him on the backside? Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator for the Lions, loves creating different schemes, stunting to allow Hutchinson to have those one-on-one situations. But something that Brock's going to have to look out for, and you know this too, I'll throw it to you, Manuch. Glenn loves having that slot cornerback blitz, either on the same side as Hutchinson or on the other side. So Brian Branch, if you're quarterback, how do you indicate a slot corner coming in, and what kind of adjustments do the 49ers need to make?
Let me tell you what Brock has learned in talking to him with a lot of quarterbacks. You always assume that they're coming. So they always have built-in, if he can't audible out of it and he comes, they've got built-in adjustments to there. And you know that as a former slot receiver. So the whole thing, the whole predication with Brian Greasy, who's the quarterback coach with the 49ers, and Kyle Shanahan, they preach that if somebody comes, they're never surprised. They've got an outlet. They've got a hot route. They've got a side adjust. They've always got adjustments built in within the San Francisco 49ers offense if you can't get to it. Now, that's the norm for a lot of offenses, but you're right. Glenn likes to bring the heat. I'll be very curious because I really feel, guys, I think the blocking or the pocket blocking for Brock Purdy has been suspect at times. It broke down several times. That throw he made to Jennings across the middle, over the top, he didn't throw it. He didn't see it. I mean, he threw it, and he got hammered, but we're seeing that pressure. So don't you think the Lions are going to dial up pressure early on? And I really believe that Kyle Shanahan realizes that, understands that. And I think that Shanahan's offense will rely more on running the football as opposed to they did in the rain against the Packers last week.
And then speaking of defensive lines, on the other side, the 49ers D-line needs to step up, has to finish plays and sack Goff. Bosa had 5 quarterback hits. The rest of the defense only had 1. No sacks against the Packers, but you've got guys like Chase Young, Aaron Armstead, Javon Hargrave, Nick Bosa, all these first-round picks, and to have no sacks against the Packers, which, I mean, the Lions' offensive line is way better. That's got to be a key on the defensive side of the ball.
Okay, and a lot of people say that, and I recognize that. But a lot of times the Packers went max protect, and they had their running back Chip coming off the end. Chase Young was a non-factor. Armstead first game back in, 2 months? I think we'll see more out of him. And they took care of their Bosa. They were all over him. I think he might have got the QB. Maybe he got close a couple of times. But then he got Jordan Love, who could move and escapability. So I agree with you. I think that the run defense has got to step up. But this secondary with Ambry Thomas and the 3 pass interference calls they had on the San Francisco 49ers, I hope they shore up with their mechanics or footwork or film study even more so than we thought. So I think that's going to be a factor as well, too. Sure, I just want to get your thoughts on this game coming up in San Francisco, 4:30 kickoff time here in Arizona.
Yeah, I think these two teams are closer than people want to give them credit for. I think the Lions have done a great job over the last couple of years of building their team in a very similar mold to the way San Francisco likes to operate. Tight end, Sam Laporta, George Kittle. The running game, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery versus Christian McCaffrey. Gibbs and McCaffrey, very similar skill set. Not saying they're the same player, but they provide their teams with a similar style. Amon-Ra St. Brown, a stud wide receiver. So I think talent-wise, these two teams are very close. I think the Lions have done enough over these last couple of years to be one of the top teams in the NFC, and it's not a surprise that these are the two teams playing for the NFC championship game. This is not a knock on Jared Goff, but I think the key to this game is, can Ben Johnson dial up enough stuff that allows Jared Goff to be clean in the pocket and to get the ball out quickly? Because Jared Goff is been able to operate in this offense very efficiently. But I will tell you, he's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not Lamar Jackson. He is not one of these quarterbacks that we expect to create a big play when things go wrong. We do expect Jared Goff to make big plays when things are done in structure and on time. And so if Ben Johnson can continue to do that, Jared Goff handles pressure well. But it's when things completely break down that I don't think we see Jared Goff at his best. So can the Lions do enough in that regard? I think they can. I think it's going to be a closely contested game, but I think the Lions have a chance.
You know, speaking of tight ends, let's look at the second game, the early game. You got the Ravens taking on the Chiefs, hosting the Chiefs, and Mark Andrews is going to be back, folks, with he and Likely. You talked about Travis Kelce. I think the theme for this weekend, guys, I feel that the tight ends are going to be a major, major factor with this game as far as blocking and catching. But as far as tight end U is concerned, and not taking anything away from Laporta, because George Kittle's going to get his. But I think if it's cold weather, if it is a little soggy and rainy, I think that middle of the field will be tight end bound coming up in this early game.
Yeah, and Kincaid was the leading receiver for the Bills last week against the Chiefs. They had a hard time guarding him. On the other side, for an X factor, you talk about tight ends. I think the X factor for this Ravens team is going to be Kyle Hamilton, who has the responsibility of covering Travis Kelce. We don't know the reports yet on Rashee Rice. If he's going to be playing this game, is MVS or the wide receiver is going to catch the football on Sunday? Who knows? But Kyle Hamilton, if he can limit the targets from Travis Kelce and prevent havoc, I think it's going to be a big X factor for the Ravens.
Key phrase there, if the Chiefs can catch the football like they did last week, and Patrick Mahomes can take care of the ball, he won't have his left guard, folks. His left guard is out. He will not be playing the all-pro left guard. His name escapes me for right now. That could be a big factor against this Baltimore Ravens defense.
So I have one question for you, Manuch, before we head into break. The Chiefs defense against Lamar Jackson. If you're a defensive guy, you're a color analyst, you've been around the game. How do you stop or prevent Lamar Jackson running the football?
Well, I think much like they handled Josh Allen to a point last week, contain him. You're not going to be able to. He's going to get his, but not give up the big,
not stop.
Yes, exactly right. Limit him from making the big play. You can quasi spy him. He's very elusive. He's strong at all the things that he does. But I think that they're just going to have to be very aware of bootlegs, waggles, a lot of things that just assume he's going to run. So stay home. Don't get caught up in some of the things he's doing, but you're going to have to get pressure. But you also have to, if you're going to get near him, get him down on the ground. That's the key for that, is just you're going to have to get him on the ground. And I think it's all about the Chiefs and their defense this year, right? Because you've lost a lot with this Chiefs offense. And on top of that, taking care of the football is what this Chiefs defense, they got to get a turnover if they're going to win this football game.
Hey, Manuch, can I say something really dumb here to close this segment out here? Something that's probably going to be really stupid when we come in on Monday. I don't think this game's particularly close. I think the only reason why people think the Chiefs have a chance is because of number 15. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is great and can do great things, but we have not seen him go to that level this season and be able to get this team through a team like the Baltimore Ravens. And so the Baltimore Ravens have been on another level the entirety of this season. They're home. They're the better football team. I just don't see how this game is particularly close. I think this is a 10-point, 14-point game, early in the fourth quarter. Again, this is probably stupid, and I will play this tape back on Monday if I'm wrong.
It'll be on Friday's Rewind if you get it wrong. Yeah,
and that's fine. I'm okay with that. It can be in next Friday's Rewind, but I just feel like this game's not going to be particularly close.
Hey, with that coming up, we'll clean out the locker and tell you what's on tap tonight on the Tube. Plus, we have the results of today's State 40 Roofing. It's your call question today. But first, it's Football 50. Thanks for joining us today. It's Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B right here on Fox Sports 910.
Oh,
clear.
Here we go. Steve Covino. Ooh. Rich Davis.
Yes.
This is Covino and Rich.
I never want to get into the lame conversation of, well, who was it? I will say, though, Tom Brady winning a Super Bowl for the Bucs like a year later.
That said a lot.
That was like, that was the worst thing. That was the worst thing that could have happened to Belichick. It's like breaking up with a girl and her next guy is the guy that plays Reacher.
Covino and Rich this afternoon at 4. Listen to Fox Sports 910 anywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Valley traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
And westbound near Sky Harbor Boulevard, right lane is blocked by an accident. Stop and go traffic all the way back to Broadway. 10 eastbound near 27th Avenue, HOV lane is blocked by a
got a lot going on back here.
17 southbound near McDowell.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Get the appliances you need right away at Lowe's. Explore the largest assortment of brands you trust in-store or online at the best values. Plus, take advantage of their everyday financing offers. Lowe's knows home improvement, subject to credit approval.
Hey, sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave.
Yeah, I just feel like the Ravens just win this game by 2 scores.
Free Blanco and Reposado features a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. It's why they won platinum and gold medals and are now listed.
I just think Mike McDaniel has done like
head over to your local store,
Tua.
Restaurant,
They confused him. Brock Purdy confused him. The Lions earlier in the season. Like that defense has just been unbelievable at making quarterbacks' lives difficult.
Here, the scenic views stick around after the sun sets, and your favorite cocktails keep you company.
And it's not like their 2 tackles have been great this year.
Unwind with bourbon and late night bites. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Right, and so everyone's like, oh, Patrick Mahomes will just put the cape on. He hasn't put the cape on at all this year.
When you guys are a personal injury law firm, the answer is simple. We're good at it. Lerner & Rowe Law Group is a separate law firm from Lerner & Rowe Injury Attorneys, and we have some of the most experienced criminal defense attorneys available, including one of only a few certified criminal attorneys in Arizona who have handled...
Again, we can put it in the rewind if I'm wrong. I don't care.
And we offer affordable payment plans. Getting the defense you need is one phone call away.
I've got enough cachet of things I've gotten right that I can take an L.
Hey, it's Gross. Join me, Bauer, and Jackson every Saturday from 11 to 1 live from the Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona for Take the Points. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar.
Are you looking for a change in your career path or just looking to get back into the employment market again? Look no further. All City Towing is searching for motivated teammates to join their team. Current openings are in the areas of customer service, tow truck operators, yard management, facilities maintenance, and dispatch. If you're looking for a challenging yet rewarding opportunity, a great benefits program including 401k program with a generous company match, and a company that is a leader in the industry, apply online at allcitytowing.com
/careers or call All City's HR department at 480-833-7278. All City Towing is Arizona's largest towing transport vehicle storage provider, locally owned and invested within the communities they service. If you enjoy helping others by providing great customer service, working as a team, and possess great communication skills, All City is for you. Apply online at allcitytowing.com /careers or call 480-833-7278. That's allcitytowing.com.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter.
Nah, I don't feel like doing it today.
Technology actively finds and invites
It's the last
qualified
segment. I'm done. I
candidates
want
to
to
apply
go.
to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Let's get ready for football!
It's Football at 50, the latest top football story trending this hour, right here with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910 and the iHeart Radio app.
A little football at 50 as you wind it down here with another fine edition of Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B. Jax, you got some injury updates there for 49er fans?
Yeah, just broke in. Kyle Shanahan said 49ers wide receiver Deebo Samuel is off the injury report and will play in Sunday's NFC Championship game against the Lions. We'll see his availability. Are they going to go full go with him? It's the NFC Championship game, 100%. You got a week off after this, Deebo. I think you got to go 100%.
I think plenty of ice, plenty of stem treatment. If he's got to take a shot, take a shot. Hopefully, the only thing I can think of with that shoulder injury, and Jax, you know more than I would, if there's a contusion or bruise, as far as lifting your arms up, above your head, as far as catching the football, if Brock puts it on his face mask or his chest, he should be okay. And as far as running with the football, he's a yak guard guy, a yards after contact guy. How much he'll have in that with that shoulder, because he spins, he turns, puts his head. He's a hard runner after he gets the football. So that'll be a sign whether he makes the catch, makes a couple moves, whether he gets down or not.
I wonder if they put him more in the slot because of those, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 5 yard passes that he gets, the out routes, the slant routes. But I would see majority of his reps, I think, as a running back too.
I think the other thing that has been made clear, Mark Andrews, tight end, is good for the Ravens. We just mentioned the Chiefs' all-pro left guard will be out. That'll be very interesting.
Joe
with that.
Thuney, pectoral injury. He'll be ruled out. It'll be interesting to see how they adjust with the defensive line of the Ravens being so stout.
Yeah, and I think those are, when you think of some of the things, going into this week, people go, okay, is everybody healthy? Well, I got to tell you what, folks, everybody's pretty much banged up, this time of the year. And when you're this banged up and you just kind of, you're going on adrenaline, you just make sure that you're ready to go. And if you're ready to go, it just, okay. It's just kind of like, all right, Katie bar the door. And those are some of the things that you're going to have to take a good hard look at when you decide to play these games. That is our Football 50, sponsored today by Upper Crust Pizza and Wine Patio and Bar in Phoenix. Upper Crust is a family pizza restaurant where you can dine in or take your food to go, great as well as each and every day. Upper Crust Pizza, Patio and Wine Bar at Cave Creek Road and the 101 right there next to Costco. Full menu at Upper Crust Wine Bar. They got all the goods for you to go. All right, sure, let's see what's on tap.
What's on Tap is brought to you by Roc and Manuch's Amber and Lager by Huss Brewing Company. Now available at the Arena Sports Grill, BKD's Backyard Joint in Chandler, CAC Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona, Tavern Grill Scottsdale, and Upper Crust Pizza in Phoenix. Try it for yourself. That's the Roc and Manuch Amber and Lager, brewed locally by Huss Brewing Company.
I'll get started tonight. The Suns at the Pacer, 5 o'clock tonight on 3 TV. Tomorrow, Arizona at Oregon. That's at 3:30 on Fox. ASU takes on Oregon State in Corvallis. That's at 5 o'clock. That'll be on the Pac-12 networks. The Coyotes at the Hurricanes. The Yotes got to get a win. They've lost 2 in a row. That's at 5 o'clock on KASW. Then Sunday, that's the big day, folks. The AFC Championship game, the Chiefs at Ravens. That starts at 1 o'clock on CBS. And then the NFC Championship game, the Lions at the 49ers. That's at 4:30 on Fox. And then again, the Suns at the Magic, 4 o'clock on 3 TV. All right, Jax, let's take a look at our State 4A Roofing It's Your Call question of the day.
And you can still vote at Roc and Manuch on Twitter. There's 17 hours left on this poll, so you got a lot of time left to vote on it. But as of right now, who are you picking to be in Super Bowl 58, the leader in the clubhouse and the winner, which we have a tie, Manuch? Lions, Ravens, and 49ers, Ravens, both at 37.5%. So us three being on the show right now, we have to break the tie. So, Manuch, what is your prediction for Super Bowl 58?
I got the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Baltimore Ravens.
Shu, what do you got?
I have the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Detroit Lions.
Oh, so I got to break the tie?
Yeah, buddy.
I got to go with Manuch. I think it's tough for me, the home environment. I like the 49ers, Ravens, too. I agree with you, Manuch. I think they click it together, and I think they cover that 7 points.
What was it, 2%? The Lions and Chiefs? Is that what that was?
Oh, yeah, the 4% was Lions.
4%. Hey, tomorrow. I'm sorry, should you go ahead?
No, that's the 2 underdogs, right? So I'm not really surprised that that's going to be the case, that's going to be the lowest percentage pick, because those are the 2 underdogs.
Hey, tomorrow from 11, excuse me, Shield, tomorrow from 11 to 1 right here on Fox Sports 910. Take the points. Shu, you got the whole crew. Shu won't be doing the board, but you, Jackson, Bauer.
We always get our names confused.
Yeah,
I'm way better looking than Shu.
Well, okay. There's no need to do that, and I know exactly why Manuch does this, because there have been plenty of times in which Manuch and I have been sitting at that exact desk at Right Toyota, and I've been sitting in that exact chair doing the show with him for a number of years. So I'm not surprised with me being on the show that he's mixed our names up. I think it's like the 5th or 6th time during the show. I'm not surprised at all that he's done that.
I'll get it. But you both have great faces for radio. That's what confuses me.
Okay. Yeah.
Tomorrow, take the points.
Myself, Mike Gross, live from the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. We're obviously going to break down the AFC, NFC championship games, sports betting, the props. We got Marco D'Angelo from Wager Talk. He'll be joining us at 12:30. And then Casey Walsh from the ZAZ Sportsbook at 12:45.
I got to tell you what a great show it was this afternoon. Jennifer Hammond from the Detroit Radio Network talked to us. Kevin Rowe gave his over-under picks from Lerner Rowe. Scott Spreitzer, leaning towards San Francisco and Baltimore. We heard Greg Papa there talking about the 49ers. But how about you, U of A Wildcats? You got head coach Brent Brennan breaking down the Wildcats 40. And where they're all going at. So if anything else, just go to at Roc and Manuch.
It's a great show.
Go
great
in there.
Show
and
by
Shu,
everybody.
Great job by you. Outstanding. Shu, the guy back there at the studio.
30.
Jax, outstanding job. Monday, we'll do it all over again at Casino, Arizona, the sports bar. Come on in there. Got
20.
Got a good buddy, Rudy Carpenter, that'll be joining us. Craig Fooey, and Frank Sanders. Everybody's going to get a chance to break down who the 2 teams are going to Super Bowl 58.
10.